I plan.
After the party is the after party. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Ray, and with me, as always, we have the lovely Material Life. What up,
What's
B?
good, y'all?
Now, today, usually I do this late at night, but this is today. I got a day off, so this is more or less like a brunch more than an after party. But we're still getting things going, and today I chose a topic that B really was excited about, and we're going
Hmm.
to be talking about the soft life.
Yes.
Now, the reason why I chose this topic because I've been hearing a lot of women talk about, during their soft girl era, they was trying to use this soft life, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm I don't know much about this, so I figured I would take this time to kind of like go into it blind and have a different opinion than what I normally have. So I'm gonna ask you, this is like, what it what would you consider the soft life?
Well, you probably asking the wrong person that question because that's why I'm so excited to see this video because I'm confused as to what exactly is this soft life era that all these girls are like they're entering into in like I guess it's like the psychology or the mental thing about it of like is not kicking into me. Like I'm still confused as to what exactly is different from their natural personality versus this extra personality that they have or this extra thing that they entered into, like because it's given very much schizo because it's a different person, like I need to figure this out.
I'm with you because if you'd have asked me what is a soft life, I just think it's that women are just tired of working, uh, and they're going from one extreme to another. And I don't want to have a negative life on it because I feel like a lot of because a lot, especially if you talk to a lot of red pill men or a lot of men, they always talk about the independent women and how they act all masculine. So when a woman says they're in their soft life, there's some people that believe it, there's some people that don't. So, and I'm to me, it's just that I feel like it's a lot of women that they said they was independent at one point, and that independent boss chick life, it just got tiring on them, so they're just like, fuck it, I want to relax. That's my honest opinion on it, and to me
Well,
it's just
that's what I take it as. Like we just tired of working, but I think it's so cute when I hear people like when you say, "Oh, I'm in my soccer era." I'm just like, that's so cute. Like I still don't understand it, but it's like to me, it feels like how those new cute words that's been coming up now, love bombing, um, soft girl era. What's the other few things that people now have been saying, or emotional intelligence,
yeah.
emotional EQ, IQ, or EI, IQ, whatever. Like I'm like, it's so much new like terms that people just been adding on to this, even though it's like these dictionary terms that now they're just like, let me make sure people remember these words also exist too. Gaslighting, um, there's so many new terms, like it's not even new terms, there's so many terms that now have become like the epitome of this new era
Oh yeah,
of
and
mental health. Because all these came in regards to like this after COVID, this new mental health like focus era created all these terms that's already existed, but no one really paid attention to them before or really cared for them that much. But it's like now that the psychology majors are like up by 1,000, it's like these terms are just thrown out there. Everybody using them.
you are definitely I definitely agree with you. To me, I just think people are just going from one extreme to another, and it's sort of like trying to kill an addiction with an addiction. Like most people
Like
stop smoking, but they chew gum a lot, or
or
and
like T.I. how he always throws out random big ass words for no apparent reason, which he could have just used a regular basic word, but he
oh
has
yeah,
to throw something outrageous. You're like, bro, I know. Okay, you're educated. Okay, you went to prison and started reading a bunch of books. Okay,
Yep, things like that. So I don't, like I said, I don't want to have a negative connotation about it because I'm gonna start with this one video because oh shit, hit the damn chopper. Because I, let's just say I've already watched this video, so if I this is what I mostly thought when people said they're in the soft girl era is more or less like this right here. Uh, can you see it? Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is what I think when girls talk about.
Hey, you guys, here is a day in my soft life. So today I woke up at 5 in the morning and brushed my teeth and put on my gym clothes. I opened my blinds and drank some pre-workout. Today was a really quick gym day, and after the gym I hopped in the shower and got ready. I am so blessed and got to partner with Target today and create some content for them. So after filming and shopping, I came back home, put my new flowers in a vase. I put on my new bed topper, remade my bed, and look how pretty my room looks. Hey.
Now, if I'd have just left it at that, I'd have just first of all, I saw nothing but ass. But if I just, it's just that's what I'm thinking. Is just women's just that's what we're going on. I don't know much, but it's just if I'd have just left it at that, I'd be like, okay. So I think I found a video that kind of explains it. It's about 34 minutes long. I don't think we're gonna go through the whole video because I don't want to put you through the whole video. But
hold on, the first video. So, what did we learn from this first video? Because I still didn't get anything from it other than she went to the gym, then went to Target, made up her bed, and then lifted her blinds, and she was like she was in her soft life. Like, I'm so confused. Like, I'm even more confused after watching her video. Like, what about this video kind of?
That is my point. That is exactly my point. That's what I said. If
Like,
I'd have just
I
left
think
it at
she
that,
don't even know what it is. Like, I think she just like, okay, I'm
exactly.
just gonna put something out there because this word is buzzing right now. Let me just go ahead and use it on a video, on a regular day video that she normally makes. Day of my life, or 24 hours with me. Watch me go shopping at Target, or morning workout routine video title. She was like soft life era or whatever, and she's like, I know it's gonna bust because everybody's looking for this thing right now.
Yeah. And like as a dude, all I saw was ass. So but gladly I didn't want to leave it at that because I think I found a video that I believe it explains about the soft life and it comes from a YouTuber named Crystal Renee Hazlett, and I think she was on BET. I feel like this woman was on BET.
Mm-hmm.
But not
Like, she
only
was one
that,
of the co-hosts for like a BT show or a
it was
movie, or
I think it was one of those BET shows because I heard the name Crystal Renee and I was just like, is this the same one that was on BET? It might be because when I looked at her face, she looked familiar. But I don't know if her name started with a C or a K. But I do remember that name. But the one thing about this video, and I'm glad it is timestamp and it has uh you know things on there that is it's timestamp. So if you have any type of specific thing, you just go look at it if you're going in blind. But so that's good for me. But I do feel like she does explain it in the beginning, so hopefully, we could get something out of it. So,
Mhm.
all right, you ready, B?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this.
I'm ready. Hi, guys. Welcome to this episode of Keep It Positive, Sweetie. And today, guess what we're talking about? The soft life. Yes, I am.
By the way, this is just a film nerd or film someone that went to school for film. This will always bug me.
Talking about.
White on white, and I know she got like outlines, but she could have at least put some a background on it to make it more legible and read, because obviously she's wearing white and putting the white. I wish people would stop doing that. If you know that you have white on a white background, at least put some type of clear background on it so it can make make it a little bit more legible for your lower thirds or intros or something like that. That's just the nerd in me. So I'm sorry.
The soft life. Yes, I am. I'm trying to hone in on my soft life. And recently, this term was coined, and I feel it derived from Black women who are tired. We're tired. We are tired of doing everything by ourselves, especially Black women. We do everything. We hold everybody up. Single Black women, I have to do everything by myself. I have to do the things. I have to be the man and the woman. And it's exhausting. I don't know if you guys feel the way I feel, but I'm ready for the soft life.
Do you feel that way?
That it's exhausting?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's exhausting, but yeah. Because the
like
first
exhausting in what sense? Working is exhausting?
Yeah.
Or
like because I think what she was saying, like she feels like she has to do everything. She has to be the man and the woman. And she feels like she has to do everything, and it's exhausting. The first time step is Black women are tired.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Black women are tired. To be honest, I think working is exhausting for anyone. No offense to the 9 to 5 ownership and all that other community and stuff. Just working in general is definitely exhausting. I don't think anybody in life woke up or when they was born was saying, "Oh, I can't wait to be a full-time worker." Like that's not something that everyone in life strive to be. Like we look forward to retirement. Everybody looks forward to retirement, the moment that they can just sit at home and not do nothing. You don't realize how great of a blessing it is to just, you know, where school is your only option, or like, when you're like a kid and you don't really have to work or anything like that, you're like, oh, it's so boring. And then you become an adult and you have to work and you have to like pay bills and manage your time and go to work and come home and cook, clean, then like, try to keep a social life. And the social life is the only thing that's keeping you afloat from like just laying in your bed 24/7 to a state of depression. So I don't think anybody in life is really just like, oh my gosh, I love working. Like everyone's trying to figure out ways to make money without working, without going to prison either. So when it says like everything else isn't exhausting, but working can sometimes feel exhausting because you have so many different personalities that you have to also take into consideration and also have to deal with. And so it kind of become exhausting. But you also don't want to be working and you don't talk to nobody. It's like you were working inside a cell. Like then I would feel like you was in prison. And like COVID really showed us that prison, like that mental messed upness that we have, like when you become like secluded and like to yourself and no one else is around and you like stuck and you can't get out, can't leave, can't do anything, you become like feel like you're in a cell block. Then we realize it's not. It's worse.
Yeah, it's funny as men, our value is in work because people. As me growing up, I always say people they want to work in man. They like a man that that can get their hands dirty. They know how to do things. So a lot of men we value our time in work. Especially if you, growing up, I know now, people like the they talk about the 6 figures thing, but growing up, they told us if you got a job, you're doing better than most. So, try to find a job is
That's a
one
great
thing.
man.
Yeah, that's a great man. He, he out here working. He got one job, he got 2 jobs, he got a good job.
Oh, that's a beyond measure man with 3 jobs. Oh, he out of control.
He a Jamaican. That's what he But
I can't. Right.
But a lot of times, us as men, and I feel this way. I still think we feel this way, even though we see all these arguments. A lot of men, we kind of work just so a lot of women don't have to, or not as much. Like
Mhm.
I've always said, this is just like, even though I've always said, the 50-50 it works, but gradually I want to make money where my woman don't have to work. That's how,
Mhm.
and and in order for me to do that, I got to keep pushing myself, keep being more ambitious, and keep pushing myself up the ladder and all that, just so my woman don't have to work. Because
Yeah. Because I
you
don't
know,
think working is real. Like manual labor shouldn't is not really embedded in woman DNA. Like it shouldn't be embedded in woman DNA. Like extreme labor and like mental fatigue and all that other stuff. I was telling my best friend that I was saying, you know what? Like literally, I don't even understand how our men for generations upon generations upon generations, held it down. Like was the full-time breadwinner for the full family. Worked one, two, or three jobs, and like came home still was the father to his kids and everything else. And I'm just like, I was telling my best friend, I was like, I don't know how they did it. Like with without wanting to kill themselves, I couldn't even explain to them how they was holding multiple jobs or holding a job, taking care of full family by themselves. Well, because back then a lot of the women did not work, did not, or was not like considered. There was more stay at home parents versus actively, full time employed. Like both parents are full time employed. There was a few black parents where the mom was like maids or she was like a nanny or something like that. But it was like, that was it. She was just like, it was like her being a house, like being a mom to somebody else's kids. So she was still doing the stuff she would naturally do at home. She was just doing it at somebody else's house. And then came home and was still having to cook and stuff for her family at the end of the day. But I'm just like, how did these men survive this? Like they mentally shouldn't have survived this. Like this is a lot. That working market is a lot.
yeah, it takes a lot of determination. And
Mhm.
as far you, it takes a lot of sacrifice too. But the fruits. I think from what they say, the fruits of the labors is due the wife and kids. To live a life that a lot of people work hard for. So
Mhm.
especially like putting your kids through school, or wanting them to like at least enjoy life as much as they can. Because like you said, work is hard, especially if you're doing two or three jobs. A lot of people just they get into their bag and shit. So, and like I said, I know like now in this era you need like a two income house, but I feel like if it was like back in the day, I feel like we wouldn't even have this argument. It's like
I,
us.
I have to disagree with that.
Go ahead.
Needing a two income household, we do not in this era need a two income household. Um, we can live 10 times better in a two income household, yeah. But you can also live comfortably with a one income household. It just has to be the one income household has to be paid properly. Now, if you're lowballing yourself, taking let's say 30K annual salary or whatever, $8 or $7 an hour pay, yeah, it's not going to be possible to support yourself on that type of salary by yourself. You might have, a small unit somewhere or like a studio apartment, something that's gonna take half of your income. But if you are getting paid proper wages, you sh- we're supposed to survive off of one income. But the problem is they're not paying proper wages. And we all know there's somebody who's gonna accept improper wages. There's always gonna be somebody who's gonna accept low
I
pay.
agree, I agree with that.
So you can't fight for high pay when you still have a few people who's willing to accept low pay. It's like you the only person fighting on the battlefield. And they're like, girl, I'm going ahead and take this little opportunity since you gave up on it, and I'll take it under you. And you like, okay, then now you stuck. So the problem isn't like it's just we no one's getting paid properly. Well, I wouldn't say no one. It feels like more people in the Black community isn't getting paid properly. Not just in like it's just in general. There's a lot of Black people that's getting paid properly, but a lot of Black people are not. And it's not because it's not based off of education. It's just based off of just some of them don't fight for the high. Some of them don't risk it. Some of them can't afford to like say no. Where some white people, they kids still living at home for a very long time. And so the kids is not having to like, or like their parents said, oh, let me hire you. Like, oh, my son, let me hire him in this company I work with. So he's already been in it. And then all of a sudden, when it's time for you to retire 15, 20 years later, it's like you turned over the position to him.
Okay. I can see your point. But I'm not gonna lie, like but places like LA, their cost of living is high as hell. Where most people they don't even live in a city; they live in Arizona. And someone that went out there, I did see all the homeless people out there when I was out there for like 2 weeks.
But
yeah.
their cost of living is high, but the cost of like minimum wage is up to like $12 to $18 an hour, something like that. Somewhere in between there. That's minimum wage.
I might have to look that up. I know New York, I think they've just raised their minimum wage, and I know where I'm at, the DMV, because we got a lot of government jobs. You can, you know, you like I said, you can live comfortably, but a lot of people out there, especially around here, they try to at least reach at least 70K or to 100K.
Mm-hmm. Like where I used to live in Washington State, minimum wage was $16 an hour. Imagine someone working, McDonald's gonna give you the most amount of hours.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine someone working at McDonald's with over 60, 70 hours a week, or 60, or they're definitely making over 40 hours plus at $16 an hour. That's still a ridiculous amount of money.
Oh yeah. And I know in North Dakota is like if you work at Walmart, you start off with like $20-something an hour because no one be up there. So but yeah, I mean, I can see black, but yeah, I do agree with you. I do, black women. But I don't think. Now a lot of people blame feminism, and I don't want even me. Like I said, I don't want to see women work that hard if they don't really have to. It's good that they do, but I think that's just I always say I think that's the man in me. It's just like even like at my job, I see some women they work, and sometimes I give them the easy. And I'll do the tougher job, and I guess that's just the man in me. Even though I know they're capable of doing it, sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I'll take the heavier load, and you just go ahead, just get the lighter load. So, but let's continue the video.
And I feel like the soft life starts with us. We have to start hiring people to do some of these things to help us really tap into that soft life, because you will run yourself ragged trying to do your job and the job that a man should be doing. Okay, so let's get into it.
I do feel like she's coming from a single mother's perspective, though.
She is not a single mother. She is coming from an exhausted person's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Or she might low-key still be a little bit broken. Like, don't argue. Like, argue with your mother. Don't argue with me. But she might low key be a little bit broken. Like either her last relationship or whatever relationship she's currently in. Either the man can't be doing his full part because the way she said okay and looked down, it was like she was speaking to somebody. Like that's if the shoe fit, wear it, sir. That's exactly what that okay gave me. It's given very much like I'm still a little bit triggered at the fact the type of level of men that I've dealt with. Because these are things that they should have automatically, did, but they didn't. So it's not speaking from a single mother behavior. It's speaking from a, I guess, exhaust. Like she's just like she says, she's exhausted. She don't feel like she should still be working, and she's not living bad. So from looking at this house that she in right now,
yeah, that's a nice house. That's what I say. She had to work in the entertainment business though. So
yeah, but she feels like she's tired. She feel like she should be able to just stay home. Like she didn't have like how Gabrielle was it Gabrielle Union that said like she cannot not work even though she's married to Dwayne Wade and he came from making over $200,000 or however much money he made a year or whatever. I don't know how much he was making a year, but whatever it was.
Dwayne Wade was making more than Gab. I was just saying.
Yeah. Well, first of all, a lot of these star basketball players is making ridiculous amount of money, period. And if they had a great accountant, if they had a great manager or management team or whoever was in charge of their finances, that amount of money was tripling, tripling, quadrupling, running back, coming back, all of that. Never seen a loss. They bought a bunch of properties. They probably bought out a bunch of hoods, to be honest. And then we sitting here thinking gentrification is some white people who done bought it. And it's a whole gang of black people who done bought it. And then just raised up the price on the black folks. Got them all out of there. And then next thing you know, a bunch of white people start moving in. So we don't know who we buying out these project homes.
Oh, shoot. Shout out to Mike Epps. He just bought his own block back. And then now, like, if you see those houses are beautiful. But that man bought his whole block and then just rebuilt all of my houses up from scratch. So that's
T.I. did the same thing. He bought a project and then he put like I think 20 or 40 of the units out of the apartment is considered part of it's like for homeless people or homeless teens or whatever, which we know he's about to get a government stipend. Like he ain't doing nothing for free. Because he about to get a big old, government check that's going to off balance that mortgage. So technically he's not paying nothing for their home. And the people who's going to be paying the mortgages up top is just extra money coming into him. Plus what the government giving for those 40 units that's down below. So I'm glad he did that, bought it up. But we know he ain't losing nowhere in that.
Nope.
And ain't nothing free that he was doing. He's not freely just, creating homeless homes for youth. That's all that's going to be paid for. Whatever government, stipend they have with Section 8 or whatever government put somebody over there to be in charge of that system, all paid for by the government. So he went in triple time and he bought it for a low. So I'm like, and then if T.I. didn't do the ribbon cut, we would have thought, some white person bought that out.
Right.
And then they're going to kick all them black people that's already there out. But now when you don't see no black people living in the neighborhood, it's going to be a bunch of white homeless kids. Then we're going to say gentrification. Then we're going to have to remember it was T.I.
Damn.
Them niggas will lynch a nigga and then let them go.
Shit. All right, let's get back into the video.
I found this quote by Zoe Saldana and it really resonated with me. She said, I like what I do. I like how I do it. I like my mistakes. I like the pace at which I learn from my mistakes. I don't want to be anybody else but me. And by knowing this, I want to continue figuring out who the fuck I am. Zoe Zeldana. Okay, first of all, sis, me too. I'm trying to figure that out. But while I do that, I want to keep it cute and keep it soft. Listen, I feel like we can take it back to slavery, where the black woman had to keep the family lifted, had to hold everything down. The men would leave, the men would get killed. It was so many different things. And I think generationally, it has just been ingrained in us. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to hold it down while he's out working. You need to make sure the kids are good. You need to make sure the house is right. You need to also have a job. You need to birth the children. You need to make sure that they're raised up right. It's just so many things that fall into the place of being a woman, and it becomes too much, like way too much. And I think we are finally to the point where we're like, y'all, we're tired. We are tired and we want help. That's what we
If the oh man, do you agree? Do you agree?
To be honest, I'm not even gonna pretend like I was paying attention to what she was talking about just now. All I heard was "we are tired." So a lot of the stuff she said before that, I kind of got lost. Like I don't even know what I was thinking about. That's the sad part. But all I remember was she said "we are tired," and I was just like, "What was she talking about?"
You know, she kind of took it back to slavery. She was like, when the men
Oh
were
yeah, I
out.
remember. I think that's where I got lost at, and I just stopped right at that. I was like, "Damn, why she want to take it that far back?" and so I just missed everything in between. And I heard "we are tired" because I was just like, my brain was still processing like, why are you going all the way that far back though?
Is slavery one of those terms where like you just blank out and then you like
I probably do because to me, I just didn't understand why she wanted to take it that far back. Like there was no reason. There's so many eras that we could talk about. But slavery, I don't know. I understand how she there was there was no soft life in slavery. Like so, I'm so confused. That's why I'm like, how did you get there? Because last I checked, there was nothing soft in that era. Like the woman was working just as hard on the cotton field as the man was.
mm-hmm.
Like she had to carry just as much load as the men. So she was real heavy. It's like, I mean, muscle bound, bodybuilder at that time. So how did you get there? Like where was we ingrained to like take care of the family in that era? Because there was no option of just sitting at home while the husband went out to the cotton field and put in that work. And then when he came home, he brought in like 50 cents from his work to you so you can like buy milk and like make rice and stuff like that. No, there was somebody who made food for everybody. Um there was which was the older generation. Once they've hit a period where being in the field was just impossible for them, then they became like the one that was in charge of making food for all of the slaves. But if you were young, you was in the field. There was no soft life at that period. So how did she get that?
I was gonna say that, it's funny because I was gonna say the same thing. It was just like the women was out there too, but the men was out. It's like not like the men was not out there. We was out there, and then
Yeah. And the woman was getting beat just as hard as the men was getting beat with them damn whips in their back. It wasn't like, oh, only the men had scars on their back from the whips. There was women too. If you wasn't holding your weight in that era,
yeah,
you was gonna get that weight.
you was gonna be there. Yeah, and I'm with you. She could have picked a different era. She could have picked the prohibition era. She could have picked the
She could have picked
antebellum era. You could have picked Jim Crow. Some
child. She could have picked Jim Crow era.
It was like
Right.
because that one, yeah. If you because the father was working, and sometimes the mother. And I've said that if you wasn't a nanny or a maid, you cook for the white woman, and then you go home and cook for the like. I know that.
Yeah. But a
Yeah,
lot of the black moms were at home. Like if their husband had a good enough job, they was at home. They was helping their kids and they was actively involved. Yeah, there was a few that did work, but it wasn't like it wasn't like, oh, they all was working, or it's like they had like all of them had to work. Now it's like different where it's like a lot of percentage of the women have to work. It's not like, oh, but then again, back then people was getting married young too. So that we could say that we not, well, it was because they was married.
yeah,
It wasn't a bunch of boyfriend girlfriends living together back in the days.
yeah. They was getting married, jumping in. Matter of fact, even in slavery times, they was getting married.
Yeah, they was getting married young.
Yeah,
Because they was like, if you gotta work, I gotta work. I like the way you look. You like the way I look. Let's go ahead, jump the room, call it a day. I don't know how long we're gonna be together with each other, so I can sleep with you with no shame in my heart.
okay. It's like I like how you threw that in there because we done had this argument before. That was good. All right, let's get back to the video.
We are. And that's where the term soft life came from. For the past probably 7 to 8 years, really, yeah, 7 to 8 years, I have been doing everything by myself. Even when I dated for a few years between 2015 and 2017, I was still handling a lot of things on my own. And it wasn't until recently, because as women, and to a fault, we have felt like men weren't stepping up, so that we had to do it all ourselves. And then it became this whole, I'm independent, I don't need a man. So we go through that whole thing, which is a lie. We do need our men. And because that was ingrained in us, then it like pushed us to just go harder, and we became more and more and more successful, more independent. And probably subconsciously we were pushing men away from us. And so we kind of did it to ourselves, ladies, if you think about it.
Hold
But
on.
I wasn't.
See, that's the problem I have, where people like to create this victim mentality, and it irritates me because, first of all, I hate when people say it was ingrained in us that we didn't need a man, that we can do all these by ourselves. Blase, blase. I can't even think of a moment in life where my mom ever told me that I didn't need a man. That we can do it all by myself. You can do it all by yourself, David. Like, oh, you got this. You don't need to worry about a husband. Don't worry about this. Like, I'm just like, how is this ingrained? Like, if you really sit back and you listen to like how your parents, things that they were saying to you, and like when you were growing up as a kid,
Mhm.
not once did they was they really, like, some parents it might be different. I'm not gonna speak on everybody. But like when you really sit back and you really listen to like your parents, they wasn't talking about, oh, you don't need a man. They were saying, oh, you learn this in case, you should also know how to do this yourself. Um, make sure, you know, if you go out on a date and the man can't afford it or he doesn't have it, make sure you have money also. Don't just sit there, look confused and you don't want to be somewhere and you ain't got no source of way of an exit plan. Or they'll be like, or they'll be like, go to school, get an education, learn, get a degree, focus on your school, don't focus on boys right now. But they wasn't saying, oh, you can do it by yourself, you don't need no man. The problem is we've had to watch our parents and parents or parents or like your grandparents or their parents. They watched them be independent. They watched them do it by themselves. They seen how strong they was. They seen that they survived. They didn't see another man in the household or another woman in the household. They seen their dads do it all by themselves, or they seen their moms do it all by themselves. And then you've seen it for so long that you think it's normal. But you don't say, well, I don't want him. I don't need a man. But if a man ain't there, it's just not there. Like we're not gonna go find somebody just to randomly show up. Like it's just impossible. You can't find somebody that's random, that's just not there. But to keep throwing out this false narrative that it was ingrained in us, that that we are the problem, that we created this, like we created, like our parents transfer this trauma down to us by like telling us that this is what. Like my mom never transferred that to me. I've watched her though, and I thought being independent was the right way to be. Like if you're with your husband, or with your boyfriend, you also need to be independent so you're not draining him, exhausting him, bothering him. Leave him alone. Let him do what he needs to do.
I'm gonna try to find, but it was with this comedian named Yamanika Sanders, and it was actually on this one where she was having a conversation with Donnell Rawlings, and she was talking about how she thinks men should be wanted and not needed. And I feel like I don't want to sit through it until I figure out where it was, but I'm gonna come back, not here. I'm gonna come back here. But in that podcast, she was talking about how like man, you should be wanted and not needed. And I feel like, and I disagree with that, and Donnell Rawlings disagree with that. But I feel like that attitude, where because it's just like these women, those are the type of women that kind of woke up and did everything. Now, me, I have the privilege of being in a 2-parent household, so I've seen how a unit works. So I've had that under the wrap. So that's just, so, and growing up watching some sitcoms where you see a 2-parent household, like your Family Matters, and damn, I know Rock, but Rock didn't even have kids. Matter of fact, it's not Good Time. I guess you can count Good Times, but even Good Times had some stuff where it's just like people felt like Florida held her back. But I've always think like people don't understand how a family unit move, except for like a few shows.
Mm-hmm.
So Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and fucking Family. But even then, it was just like it was more or less focused on the kids. You don't really see stuff on like how the husband and wife would move a unit. So I feel like now where shows are, you see a lot of women doing it to themselves, not doing it by themselves, and having to do everything on their own, not having a man unit there. I think that derives from people because it's just like, oh, mama could do it, I can too. Where I feel like we should be like, yo, you should find someone that both of y'all can be compatible and work with together, like I said, and then raise a family and to do things. So things like that. But yeah, let's get back into the video.
Stepping up the way you needed to either. So it's we both can take responsibility in how we got here. But for me, I know it got to a point where I was like, man, I am tired. Like this is a lot. My garbage disposal broke down one time, and I was like, Lord, like this is something like my man should be handling. Why am I calling around trying to figure out who can come fix this? Waking up this morning at 7 o'clock, it's freezing cold. I got to take the trash out. Like I'm doing everything myself. And to me, it's just like, I feel like women need to like tap back into their femininity. We have become so masculine. I know for me, it's like, and I had to catch myself sometimes because I have taken on the ego of a man and feeling like, yeah, I got this pride and I pump my chest like I did this myself. Like everything you see is me. I want to be like everything you see is us. We did this. Cheers. I'm cheers to my imaginary man. Cheers, baby.
You know, when people say that, you know, they have the ego of a man. One thing, and this is just my opinion. We do it when men do stuff, and when we say we fix it by ourselves, we do it for the family. I don't think we just do it for us. Yes, we sometimes like we have egos and we like our ego strokes, but most of the times when we do stuff for the family. It's not just for me, it's for you. So it's one of those things where if I'm winning, we're all winning. It's not just me. I may have done, you know, even if I did most of it, it's just so you, like I said, most men they sacrifice just so, you know, the wife and the kids can have a better life. We don't just do it for us, we do it for y'all, or you know, do it for everything. I feel like when women, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, when women say they in their masculinity, when they do stuff, it's just for themselves. It's to show people that, yeah, I did it. And you know, I didn't need nobody to do it. It's just sometimes I just got to do it just so I can make sure my family is good. Sometimes when I see women do it, it's just like I did it, and I don't need nobody else to do it. You know, all that other stuff. Even if I can do it, I shouldn't. I could just pass it off. Like some things, you know, get a repairman to do it. You know, I can't cook for myself. Like something, like I do say that some things in basic living is like, you know, cooking, cleaning, taking care of yourself. But if you can get somebody else to do it, why not?
That's funny to me. I think some things that women take on these burdens for, like, is it's so weird because some of these things are, it's not like they're purposely want to take on these burdens. I think some of them think like, okay, it seems independent, but they feel like, oh, they're taking on half of the load for the man, you know, giving him some breathing room. And then they've told themselves, okay, I'll take out the trash. He's probably tired. Let me take it out. Let me take it out. And then all of a sudden they get mad and irritated. Man, this man don't never take out the trash. He just became so accustomed with you constantly doing it. And then now he don't even look at it. He don't even look that way no more because he knows you doing it all the time. But now you irritated because you feel like you always taking it out, and he never, you know, he never puts in the effort to go take it out. You know what I mean? Like they took on a lot of loads themselves, you know, thinking there was like being helpful. And then once they've been taking on these loads and they're exhausted and they're irritated, then they start complaining about taking on these extra loads.
Oh no,
Because
that's why what you said is exactly why I don't make women try to like make women do a lot, or if we're both doing it, I do most of the brunt work. Because I don't want to hear that, oh, you making me do all the hard work. Because sometimes you be like, because not you, but sometimes the women be like, oh, I can do it. You know, you ain't got to be all, you know, I can do it. I was like, you say this now. But, you know, sooner or later, you're going to get tired of doing it. And you're going to be like, I don't want to do it. Why
exactly. And then they feel like, oh, why you didn't offer? Like, even though I said I can do it every time, but you all of a sudden you stop asking if I can do it. Like, you just don't even like go for the hard one. You always go for the start your life when it's like, then they start complaining and they feel like, you know, he ain't no man.
Exactly. Like you say, you got it. And one thing about men, if you say you got it, you got it.
And one thing about female is they're gonna want you to ask them each time.
Yeah, I know.
I may got it today. Tomorrow might be a different story. I may got it this whole week. Next week might be a different story. So every time you should purposely go to it first. Like if it's still there, that's a problem. Because that means you didn't take the initiative to do it. And so now I feel like I have to do it. So now it's like They'll start complaining about things that to you is like, it may not seem like a big deal, but in their psyche, it's like he's not holding his part. He's not being a man. He's not leading the pack. He's not motivated. He's not taking the intuition to, like, get this done. I have to tell him to get this done. I don't want to keep like I'm bugging him, but like it's starting to get annoying, and I'm holding this in because I'm real irritated. The fact that I have to constantly remind him like I'm his mother. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. He needs to do this. These are things he should already know he had to do. You're a man. Why should I tell you to, hey, take out the trash? Or we're missing some things, some items in the house. Oh, I need $200 to go, get my hair, nails, toes done, buy a new outfit because you were going to this event that you said we need to go to. Blase, blase. Like, why should I constantly have to tell you these things? It should be automatic. Once you say, babe, I have a function at work on this day. Here's $200 so you can get prepared for it. Why should I have to tell you these things? These are things you should know to do. And now they upset, mad at you, pouting. And
Yep.
you don't even know what's going on.
Yep.
But they want to be in the soft life era.
And you see why I said what I said at the beginning? Because it's most of the people I hear that wants to be in a soft life era are women that was independent. They said they'll do it by themselves. They say they don't need no man. And then, once all that gets, on their shoulders, like, I'm tired. Why do I gotta do all this? It's like, and then it's just like, no one ever said you didn't have to. As men, it's like I said, and correct me if I'm wrong, I do think men's purpose is to take a lot of burden off of your shoulders. Because there's a lot of things that men feel like women do that are really important, especially when it comes to the nurturing era. There's no need for you to do most extra stuff. Especially when you got. Go ahead.
I'm a firm believer in paying for help. I am the biggest believer in paying for help because there are people in this world that loves this stuff, that loves doing the things that you don't like to do. There should be no reason for you to be miserable doing things that you do not like to do in your own home. That is outrageous to me. That is the worst feeling in the world, to be in your own home, miserable, hating life, dreading to do things that you do not like to do. When there is somebody in this world that sole purpose, that find enjoyment in doing the things you don't like to do.
Oh yeah,
but people won't do that. They won't pay for services. They'd rather be miserable, complaining, argumentative. But a lot of girls in soft life era pays for a lot of services. They don't take on all the loads. It's impossible to take on all the loads. It's impossible to be a full-time mom, a full-time chef, a full-time nanny, a full-time maid, a full-time activist, a full-time masseuse, a full-time, I don't know, IT tech. And then a wife.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to let the girl that. By the way, we might get a special guest coming through, just so you know.
Is it Dion?
Nah, it's not. If he comes through, I'll be surprised. But I'll let him introduce himself when he comes through. You'll see him. I just sent them the link.
We did that. I know, and we're gonna take this thing to the moon like Beyonce and Jay. Yeah, thank you, love it. That's my imaginary man. We sip champagne and all those things. Soft life, but seriously, like, Yeah,
How can I deal with her?
I know. She laughing at us, but you will be here one day. I know. Yeah, I know.
Girl, I believe it too. I 100% believe her.
You
Well,
believe?
right, you know, I live in the land of delusional because I believe anything you want, anything you strive for, anything you believe is possible. So I 100% agree with her, girl. Speak into existence. God is hearing it. He will be there. That man to put you in your soft life era that keeps you from working, girl, that allows you to continue to do you and make these videos with this production team that you got back there, because you got a whole director chair
Yeah.
in her Issa Rae bag. Because I'm like, why do you have a production team? Like, this is wasteful money.
You see how she got multiple cameras too?
Yeah, I'm like,
Hey man,
I see why she tired of working, because you putting out so much. Girl, you better go find you a college student somewhere that's looking to to learn the basic steps of videography and put them to work. But I guess people won't do that stuff. They want instant gratification. They want top tier work. Girl, she got a production team. You should be making movies. Like, why are you making YouTube?
I
Like
tell you, she's in
YouTube
it.
rent.
I'm like I said, I'm pretty sure she's in the entertainment business. I probably should be looking this up while.
Yeah, but she literally used a production team to make a rent video.
Oh yeah. Most content creators I know we start with one camera, but there's a lot of content creators. They're gonna have like 2 or 3 cameras, and then it's gonna have a whole set. Like especially the podcast is like
Hmm
2 or 3
That's
cameras.
different. That's a podcast, though. Father.
There you go.
Blessings. Blessings. Hello.
Father done into the chat. What's going on, Father?
It's Sunday. It's my day, you know.
Amen.
Shout out to the Sunday borns.
Oh, me too. Shout
That's
out
right.
to us.
I was born on a Monday. I'm like Solomon.
Born on a Monday.
Born on a Monday. Right. So Father was actually in the chat and he was like, send the link. And I was like, no problem. So what do you think about this soft life and the talk of these women have been talking about since we have you here?
All right. First of all, this is not a new conversation. Women and soft life have been synonymous since the dawn of motherfucking time, since Adam and Eve. If you remember the biblical story, Eve came from the rib of Adam. Now, the issue with that story is now it creates the narrative that men are like the dominators of women, just simply due to the fact that the rib that Adam had was literally the source of Eve's life, according to the Bible. So a lot of men run with this narrative and think that they are the ones that, because they are in the position to supply this quote unquote soft life to women, that women have to be submissive. This is why you see soft life, submission, like all that shit, right? Now, with all of that being said, the economy right now doesn't really afford the soft life for a lot of women. A lot of women are in the workforce and they're dealing exactly with the motherfucking issues that men have to deal with on the job on a daily basis, especially when you consider the job market. So now there is a big push because in America, everything is propaganda. Everything is motherfucking propaganda. So the soft life shit is now making its rounds to social media and to everything, because now now that it's propagandized, now it needs to be pushed among the masses. This is then you have your TikToks, you have your Facebooks, you have your X, you have like all of these different mediums in order to push this type of thing towards people. Now, the thing is, it's not probably going to resonate with a lot of the ladies that you think it is, because it's a new generation. It's new standards. It's new procedures. It's new perspectives. Like, women have forever been changed by the fact that they are now in the workforce. So while there are a lot of women that will resonate with the whole soft life thing. There's going to be a whole bunch of other women that are already in the workforce that have already experienced all the shit that men experience, listening to this and then being like, I want that. So now in due time, what you're now going to start to see is now you're going to eventually going to start to see a resentment towards the soft life, because it happens in cycles. You have this one thing that somebody is pushing, a whole bunch of people adopt it, then it becomes a culture. And then if something becomes a culture, there's almost always going to be a counterculture that is going to respond to that very culture. And you can even see it in a lot of the women, like, because there's a lot of women that actively push back against the soft life shit, that be like, no, like, I'm not going back to that shit because that's what my grandmother was on, that soft life shit, and her husband cheated on her, or her husband got a second family somewhere. So just know, for every culture, there's always going to be a counterculture, and how those two interact is basically going to tell you the trajectory of how that culture is even going to survive in the near future. That's what I think is about to happen.
You are right, because we did have the BBL culture
Mm-hmm.
and the weaves and now all of a sudden we're back into this natural culture where men want girls back in their natural. No makeup, no weave, no this. They're not trying to marry these BBL girls, blase, blase. And
I
all the
don't think
girls
we
want to
ever
go back
wanted the
natural again.
BBLs. I don't think we ever wanted the BBLs. I stand on that.
It was.
No,
That's the reason why.
I think it was good to look at, but when it got real ridiculous to where the butts was looking like ants, we were like, and we're like, why? And then it got to a point where women that didn't need BBLs or even breast surgery was started getting it, and then we're just looking at them like, why? It's just like, you're fine, because we're the one. Honestly, and I've been seeing this. We're the ones that say you're fine the way you look. There's nothing wrong with you. You're aesthetically beautiful. Why are you getting all this stuff done?
No, but that's not true though. Because the thing is, BBL culture. So there was the natural culture that happened. Then the BBL culture happened. And all the girls who was getting flown out was looking like the BBL girls. They was all being flown out. So girls was running to surgery so they can have that BBL life, which gives them the access to being flown out. Guys paying for them, taking them out to eat. They're living this 3 or 4, escort service lifestyle. But then all of a sudden there was a shift that happened in society where guys was like, I want my girl natural. All these guys, they don't want the big butts no more, or the long lashes no more, or like the Jada Waitas and the Barbies. They want their girls to look like, like they could have a big butt, but it's like something reasonable. They want, they're flying these girls that just look normal, like natural hair, natural waves, natural curls, natural braids, or just real regular schmegler. And so now a lot of these girls are regretting getting these BBLs, and they're regretting doing all these things because the era has shifted and they're not being flown out. These guys are not paying their rent. They're not becoming sugar babies and sugar dads, because the guys who's the true sugar daddies don't want these big box body girls no more. They want girls that they can bring to work, to like work functions, and it doesn't look like, like she might be a prostitute. So a lot of these, now this BBL era is starting to revert, and people are regretting getting the surgery because they're not seeing the, city girl lifestyle they thought they was gonna get from it.
I'm gonna blame porn for that as well. I feel like some of the bodies that they looked at some porn stars and it's just like, and people, mention the porn stars that they like, especially the ones with the big asses, like the Ayana Angels and the Cherokee Diaz's and the Peakies, and it's like they try to emulate that, and a little bit of the stripper culture, because some of the girls that in the stripper culture got bodies. But I always say this, it's just like You're a lawyer. What do you need a BBL for? And I know a couple of women that's, it got regular jobs is getting BBLs. Like they go to
because they want to be flown out. They want to be living the city girl era. Like they're watching happening. Like these girls are getting flown out that has these BBLs as influencers, with these big box bodies, and getting on private. Going into Las Vegas, going out to Dubai. When I see girls flying out to Dubai, I know that social media influencers. I start to look at them sideways after learn that whole Dubai social underground lifestyle situation that they got going on down there with a bunch of these social influencers that go down there for this that escort service lifestyle they got going on there, that Diddy party, but by billionaires.
By the way, TD Jakes is really not fucking beating the allegations.
You ever been swallowed? You ever been swallowed?
Yeah, I saw that video. I was like, dang.
No, he's not beating that.
I'm forever going to look at that nigga sideways. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Finish your point, B.
No, it's like all these eras that a lot of people went out for and it was running rampant for is now like reverting back, and they're not seeing the glory days for it no more. Because people don't want that no more.
All right. By the way, I did look her up. She's on Tyler Perry's Sisters. That's probably so
on BET.
I was like, yep, on BET. So that's where I probably seen her. All right, let's get back into the video.
My man, who's going to come and help make this thing a little softer, okay? But no, I feel like it's a double-edged sword. I feel like men and women have played a part in women having to feel like they have to do it on their own. And women have pushed men away because men's like, well, shit, what am I going to do? You got it all figured out. What am I coming in to do? You got the house, you got the cars, you got the career. Clearly, you got the garbage disposal fixed. What you need me for? There are things that men can do that women can't do and that women shouldn't be doing. And it's not gender roles or anything like that. It's just coming in and just being a team and playing your part. And for me, I just got tired and I was like, I cannot keep doing this. Like, I got to figure it out. So I started creating my own soft life. I made sure that I get my massages weekly. I make sure I take time out to work out, take time out to meditate, do yoga, things that calm me down. Because sometimes I get so caught up in my career and making sure I'm keeping up with life and keeping up the image. Let's be real, because it's the image I have to upkeep now. That's a lot. And it takes a lot of hard work to do that. But if I got to work and I got to keep everything up, it becomes too much. So trying to find that balance within myself and creating a soft life that I want another man to come in and add to. So yeah, that's how I got here. That's why I'm sipping champagne on this couch talking to y'all. Ooh, I really saw my masculinity kick in when I moved to Atlanta and started pursuing music, because it's such a male-dominated industry. I felt like I had to have this hard shell so men knew not to try me. And it was like a protective shell. And I remember I would go to studio sessions and men would be like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I would love to take you on a date. And I'm like, bro, if you have to lead with, I know I'm not supposed to do this, why are you doing it? And I was alone in a lot of those rooms. So I had to make sure people knew, don't play with me. And that's where that hardness came from. Come from the South. Like, I'm a Southern girl through and through, Southern belle, let the man lead. I was taught all the Southern ways. You speak to people in the morning. I moved to DC and I'm like, good morning to complete strangers. That was the Southern ways in me. And they're like, who are you talking to? And even then I started realizing, okay, you got to kind of tone it down. You can't be so friendly and gullible. And it was when I moved to Atlanta that I realized, okay, I got to let these people know they can't come to me, and I have to carry that. And it just carried on through my career, even through acting, working in costumes, designing, all those things. I had to like make it known, like this woman care. You know, there are certain women that walk into a room and you just know, oh, I can't play with her. She don't play. Like my daddy said, they cut out recess when I was in school because I don't play.
Did you ever have a masculine side yourself, D? And do you feel like it's kind of needed if you did?
Oh, wait, say it again. Did I have a what?
Would you ever say that you ever had a masculine side, and if you did, do you feel like it was needed?
That's a hard question. Like a masculine side. Like, I would say yeah. Because I felt like my beginning half of the Navy, I did have a masculine side. Like the first like solid 4 years where I was like trying to like, make, because like the stigma that they have. Like we may not say it out loud, which we do. It's not like we sugarcoat it that woman just does not last in the military or on the ships. Like they either gonna get pregnant or they're gonna like, use that weakness, like that weak card, like they can't do what they have to do, blase, blase. Like it was always this thing like woman was just not enough in the military. Like we just couldn't live up to like the guy's standard. So in the beginning half of my military, like I felt like I had to be masculine. I had to be like work hard, extremely hard, like pick up my half of the load, like never like you shouldn't question if I can do it, because it's like okay, she's gonna be able to do it, like she's gonna get it done. And so I felt like I did have to have like that masculine personality. I didn't think I originally came in thinking I was gonna be masculine until I got to the ship, and that's when I realized like they don't like us. Like they really do not, like they don't have a good stigma for females, because in A school you don't see that, like you don't feel that type of way. We all equal, we all work together, we're all going to classes, we're all doing the stuff, we're all learning, so you don't get that treatment where you're less than. But then when you get to the ship, you start to realize, oh, this is different. Y'all really see us at the bottom of the pit. Like y'all don't see us as equals. So then you have to feel like you have to be tough. You have to be masculine. You have to be like, let them know like, okay, I'm not one of them. Um, I'm gonna hold my own weight. Or like, don't play with me just because I'm a girl. Like I have to like, let you know, okay, I can get it done. What do you need to do? I need this from you. Let's go here, let's go there. So I felt like it was like a little masculine tug that did happen. And that was just at work. And that was like but once I established myself within that 4 years, it was like, boom. It carried me on for the remaining of my life.
So I've always had this theory, and I've asked you this question before, like because I feel like with each femininity, it varies in different cultures, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like with Black women, there, and I don't consider this a bad thing at all. I actually consider this as a positive because I think a lot of people follow y'all. Black women are just more assertive, and y'all know what y'all want, so y'all are more vocal to say it. Because in other cultures, like the men lead, but the women usually say something, they usually get chastised or called a witch, or something to where it was like, oh, your opinion doesn't matter, you're a woman. But
Mm-hmm.
usually in the Black community, sometimes you listen to the woman, like the mother, like the old mother on the porch, or if
Mm-hmm.
you know, like the church communities where sometimes the women they'll they're like the eyes and the ears and everything, and they see and they hear everything. And if you're doing bad, it comes back to your family, and then your mom hears it, and then all that. I feel like as far as culture wise, Black women is just a little bit more aggressive than other races, and I think it also derives from since we had Black women was working as well as much as the Black men, maybe not as much, but they still did work. There's times when um especially like in slavery, like if you like you said, The men was out there and the women was out there. So
Hmm.
we're both doing this. So I feel like as far as the black community, it's like since if both of them working, like both of we know the fields out there. So we're going to tell you're let's going to at least hear what I got to say because I'm out here with you. It's not like you're not. I'm here and you're not. We're both out.
Hmm.
So I feel like that carries on to black people in this generation where a lot of other races they kind of look at black women as masculine, but but in their generations women didn't have to work as much or they just did the womanly duties. Some and black women, especially in America, it's been raised different. Now maybe in other countries they're maybe more womanly, but I know especially in America, you know, they out there working. So when they call y'all so when they say y'all masculine, I don't really look at it as masculine. You're just more assertive or more a little bit more aggressive than most other races.
No, I just thought about another thing that like. I think we do tend like it's so weird because like when you sit back and you really start evaluating things that you do, like this would be considered masculine. Like you know how a guy would see a girl carrying like a bag, like a suitcase or a bag or the duffel bag or something heavy,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be like, "Oh, I can help. Like, do you need help? Tell me where it's going. I can help you put it in or whatever." And a more feminine woman would naturally say, "Thank you. I would really appreciate the help." Right?
Mm-hmm.
But a masculine woman would be like, I got it. Like, oh, I don't need the help. Well, why? Why take it away from him? Like he's not going like but then they'll start to think, okay, why is he asking me to help? Like that's just his natural nature as a man, but then so men has been pushed down for so long by these females who don't even realize they tend to move in masculine energy by doing stuff like those because by you saying the guy no, I got it, I got it, I got it, then he stopped asking females that he see are struggling if they need
Yep.
help.
Yep.
And then you start to now then say to these guys like, damn, these guys ain't nothing. Like they won't even open the door for you.
Not only that, people's just like, "Hey, why y'all not helping her?" And he's like, "She got it." He's like, I've seen that. It's just matter of fact, that
Mhm.
happened to me when I was in the Navy. With one of the white girls, he was just like, I got it. You don't have to tell me all the time. And then like while she's carrying stuff, I'm not carrying the damn thing. And everybody look at me, it's like, why y'all making her? She said she got it.
Mhm.
Like I said, it's just like if you tell us you got it, we'll hold you to your words. And also it was another thing she said because she was like when she was in the masculine industry, she's like she got the car, she got the house, and all that other stuff, and the man is just like, why am I here? Because I hear a lot of
Mhm.
women say that it's just, and I think the problem is y'all don't give the man a purpose. It's just like because if you could do everything, and I think a lot of men's purpose is just like I'm here to do something for you. He's just
Mhm.
like I'm not just gonna be sitting here in the corner, like with um, and then y'all just and then when we ask you what do you want us to do or what am I here for, usually a lot of women's response is I don't know. And it's like so why am I here? Which is why I feel like a lot of those strong independent women they don't really be in relationships long because I think they focus on themselves so much that they
I
don't care
saw
about
your
the other
video.
person's feelings.
I saw your video saying Alpha woman they gonna die single and alone for the rest of their
Yeah,
life.
I will even take it a step further. Those type of women are not suited for relationships. It's not their lane. That's
that's
why they're
right.
struggling so much. It's not even the fact that they're so masculine. It's literally not your lane because you've been socialized to believe that you have to do everything by yourself. And you know who's been socialized to be able to do everything by themselves? Men.
Mhm.
So when you start to step into that role, and then not only, because here's the thing, right? Because we talked about this before, there are a lot of men on this earth that will never reach that state. They will
Right.
never fucking reach that state, no matter how hard they work, no matter. And when we talk about this, people make it seem like, oh, niggas just being lazy. And I'm like, laziness has nothing to do with it. Because when you live in a society that constantly demands competition, only the strong will survive in that particular case. You've seen the Hunger Games. You can be as good as everybody in that motherfucking field, and all it takes is an arrow to your eye, and then you're done. And you don't even see where the motherfucking arrow is coming from. You know, it's like a game of fucking Fortnite. It's like, yeah, you're really good at shooting. So it's like all the 100 other people that are in that field along with you. So what makes you stand out? You feeling what I'm saying? And because of that, now it enables people to cheat. Now it enables people to make connections that will only be for their benefit instead of genuine connections that'll actually raise you up anyway. People want the cheat code simply because they want to be in that position to not struggle anymore. But they also have to understand is the struggle is what makes you align more with your purpose. The problem is that we have come to a point where if you're like, we have this obsession with struggle and suffering, and this is especially for Black people. And I will never motherfucking understand this, provided with the history that we have. Like, they just be, especially when it comes to the older generation, these motherfuckers are obsessed with struggle and suffer. If you want to love, you gotta struggle. If you want to get a job, you gotta struggle. Like, just all this struggling and shit. And what you're starting to see is there's not a lot of reward for it. You feeling what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people that did everything that our elders told us to do, and there's no real reward. So when men, especially the younger men, see women with the house, with the car, you know, with the career, and with, you know, just all this options to upgrade their life any way they see fit, of course they're going to feel insecure because the socialization that they were subject to isn't consistent with reality. And when we're trying to have these conversations, it be the motherfuckers that really don't know what struggle is in the first place having the most to say. And the people that are actually in the struggle as we speak, it's like their voice is being drowned out because they don't have that same car. They don't have that same career and shit like that. So because of that, I feel like the silence is what's really hurting people. I don't even really feel like it's all the masculine, feminine shit that's happening, because we all have that energy within us. But it is the silence of those who haven't realized their potential yet that is actually fucking shit up.
I agree. I definitely agree. So
You better go off, Father.
you better go.
Listen, bro, I've been observing people for a very fucking long time. And the one thing that I've understood is that nobody know what the fuck they doing. You could have 10 cars and I'm gonna look at you like you got 10 heads, because there ain't no motherfucking way you gonna sit there and convince me that you got 10, because you got 10 cars, you worth something. Nigga, that's 10 cars. You know, as soon as you drive one off the lot, it already has lost value. You a sucker. Everything you touch depreciates. That's why you buy it, stupid ass nigga.
Okay. Let's get back into the video.
We don't do that. So I had to let people know, like, you can't play with me. And I think that carried on into relationships where it was just like, I can do it all. Like, case in point, season 2 of Fatima of Zatima just came out, and Fatima was trying to change her tire. She got a whole man, but Fatima was so used to doing everything on her own, she didn't even think, call Zach. He would love to come and help. But women have been so conditioned to, you got to do it yourself. You need to know how to do everything, because what if a man is not here to save you? Figure it out. And then some women don't want to bother men, but they're men. Sometimes I feel like letting a man know that you need him makes him come even harder, because he feels wanted. He feels needed. It's like, okay, my baby need me. And the same thing for women. We want to know that our man needs us. And I feel like if we can find the right person to like create with, we can both tap into our soft sides, because men need the soft life too. I don't think it's just a women thing, honestly.
And that's what I was saying. It's like we all need each other for something. And if you're just like doing everything yourself, and then the man asks you like, "What am I here for?" and you're like, you don't know what you need him for. Damn near, damn wanted. Like, what do you need him for? He is going to feel one, in my opinion, he's going to feel emasculated, and he's probably going to be looking for someone that needs him. Because if you don't need him, then easily replaceable. So
Real quick, I don't like the word need. I think need is too spicy. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you need something, it's like a matter of life and death. That's how I'm looking at it, right? Like I need water, I need shelter. You know what I'm saying? I need food because that's what's gonna help me to survive. But so I don't really think need is the right word here. But when you are in a relationship, like you have a role and you have a motherfucking role. You feeling what I'm saying? The relationship in itself is what brings the value. If you're not playing your role properly, then the value won't be experienced by both because somebody
Yeah.
is falling
You
apart
have
in their role.
there's no purpose.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Ray, you play Overwatch. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. If
yeah,
the nigga not playing their role, you lose.
yes,
And if somebody has to play the role for you, then I'm gonna be busy as hell. I'm gonna be carrying all this weight while you over there fucking dying.
right. So, I get what you're saying, but I feel like in a relationship, at least in a relationship wise, and if everybody plays their roles, you need that, like, you need the person, because if you're wanted, it's the one thing about like wants and needs or something like that. I feel like if you want something, um, it could be easily replaced. Like, I look at it as like food. Let's say you go to let's say Burger King, Popeyes, and you want the chicken sandwich, and they don't have that, and they say, "Well, we don't have that. We could just substitute it for like a 2 piece of the biscuit." It's just like, you know what? I'll just go with that. I feel like, and as far as being needed, it's just like, yeah, another person probably can do your job, but this person knows exactly how I like it, and I would rather have that him do it than anyone else do it. And that's how I feel like that type of need. It's just like, yeah, someone else could do it, but can they do it as good as him? Or can they do it as good as that person? Can they do it to the part that I like? And it's, especially when you have someone that like fits you perfectly, you don't really want to replace that with something else because it may not be as good, or very very mediocre, and it's maybe not up to your liking because you're like, because the last person that did this one thing for you did it well, so where you knew that if you come to that person, you know it's going to get done right. And I feel like in a relationship, that's that's what's that's what's what makes a relationship last long. It's just like, I like, this person knows me like the back of my hand. I ain't have to worry. So
And to
that's
get to
that's
that,
how I look at it.
yeah, and to get to that, it requires work, it requires effort, but most and foremost, it requires discretion. You feeling what I'm saying? You got to be able to peep game. You got to be able to not be delusional. Just like Material Life says, stop being fucking delusional. You feeling what I'm saying? Like, you got a whole bunch of people that do want that love, that do want, because we're human beings. We're going to be attracted to shit, right? But your discretion is what is going to make you either be a fool or ascend. You feeling what I'm saying? So, like, because unfortunately we live in a materialistic ass world, people think the more shit you got, the more worthy you are as a person. And that's a trap, because the only way that they're able to gain those materials is if they acquire a whole bunch of resources. And if resources are like hoarded by by people who like don't have any they don't have any loyalty to the population. They don't have any loyalty to ensuring that like future generations are secure, then it's going to be a race to see who can secure the most fucking resources. That's why a lot of women are like shamed for being hypergamous, right? They shame that because there's a majority of men that don't have those resources. So we're constantly seeing these women fucking compete for like the same 5-10 guys over and over and over and over again. That's why in Hollywood, a lot of those women over there are passed around like fucking hotcakes. You feel me? It's a culture like that because these men have the motherfucking resources. And now you see a lot of the other men who, and this is the majority, mind you, this is most men that we're speaking of, because we spoke about the loneliness epidemic. We spoke about men not wanting to go to college like that no more. We even spoke about the fact that there is now an uprising in male suicide. You feel what I'm saying? Especially amongst the younger generation, because they are constantly putting in the work that they are socialized to put in and not getting the rewards. And now because of that, they are now being seen as less than by the very same women that they want to try and, like cultivate a relationship with. Those very same women have also been socialized to become hypergamous because you need a nigga with the bag and you need to get the bag. And that soft life that they're talking about, it's all about getting these fancy ass cars and Birkin bags. And you know how in social media, when they ask you to become the girlfriend, there's fireworks everywhere and there's roses everywhere and shit like that. Like, women have been like subjected to that type of programming. So they think if a nigga don't provide that, then they ain't shit. But what that does is now it creates a cycle of hatred between men and women, which is why you see the podcast and all this other bitter shit that we've been seeing for the past 5 years now. It's all cause and effect. Literally.
Okay. All right. So let's get continue to the video.
I feel like men can have, if we all come in and help each other together, we both can have a soft life. I've been in a relationship where a guy was like, I got it, Crystal, I got it. You don't have to do it. And I think too, I used to be such a control freak. I wanted to make sure everything went right. And because of that, I wanted to handle it myself because I don't know if you're going to do it the way I need to be done. So I wouldn't allow the man to do certain things because I just wanted to make sure it was done the way I wanted it. And sometimes you just have to learn how to let a man lead, let him do his thing. And he had to kind of put me in my place, like, babe, like you got to let me be the man and do these things. And I was like, okay, you're right. But there are some men that I do not feel comfortable in letting them lead. So I feel like I still got to do it because I don't even trust that you're going to lead me in the right direction. And when I get to that point, it's like, what are we doing anyway? Like, if I can't trust you to lead me and know that you're going to take us in the right direction and we're going to be all right, then we don't need to be together.
I think that's anybody. This is like before. And I said this about men because I know men, they want to jump in relationships and be like, oh, since I'm the man, I should lead. And I've always said, you got to earn their trust before anything. Because not every woman's just going to let you lead because you're a man. Especially if you show that you're not a capable leader, they will question you. And I've said this to many men. It's just like you got to show them that you are capable of leading, or at least having their trust that they don't have to worry about you leading. You can't just jump in and just try to control things. They're just gonna look at you funny. Like, nigga, I don't know you. He's like, you could be leading me to a brick wall. So for
lies.
Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, keep going.
No, I was going to say
before I say lies, more lies.
I was going to say for every man, it's just like before you gonna jump into wanting to be the alpha male, make sure like you gain the trust of the woman that you at least show them that you can lead.
So now I can say lies, and more lies.
Why is it a lie?
Because this is that whole, just like Father said, they're not ready for a relationship. Like all this fake soft life, blase. She was not ready to be in a relationship. If the man had to, I got it, Krista. I got it. This point, you wasn't ready. She probably was tired, and she probably, felt like, okay, she liked him a little bit, and so she indulged herself and got into something, but she wasn't ready. That's why it didn't work out, because she was not ready. There was nothing feminine about her. She was still living her masculine. And some men might like you. She might have been, if she had found a beta man, she probably would have been happy for a little bit. But eventually she would have been complaining. And so she had found her alpha men, but she didn't know how to be a regular woman. And so it just didn't work out. So her saying, oh, well, I don't feel comfortable with him leading, or like, the thing is, I hate when people say, oh, I have to trust you first. Then why did you even get into this if you didn't trust me? Like, why waste my time if you didn't trust me? If there was no trust there, what was the point? Why are we here? Why are we wasting our time? Like, I hate when people use that excuse where I go into it with trust. There should be no reason to go into something without trust. And then if you lose my trust, then I know that it just wasn't worth it. But if you're going in it with distrust already, a blockage, hiding stuff, confiscating stuff, trying to pretend like, oh, this doesn't, it's exhausting. It's two people fighting in the tug of war for no apparent reason. That's not gonna work. So she said, if I don't think you can lead me, then why even go in there if you didn't know if he couldn't lead you? Why waste his time? You wasting his time, you wasting your time. Why? If you don't trust him enough that he can lead you somewhere, why waste his time? Like, is your pants too hot? Is your vagina screaming at you still? Is that reason why you like jumped into this situation? Because you need a little cool down period? But it was all wrong. You didn't trust him, didn't think he could lead you. So you was just wasting each other's time. Just for a good time. So all that is excuses. Like, he didn't need to be there. Say what you want, but somebody else, he could have let somebody else. So you wasted his time holding him hostage for no apparent reason, where he could have been somewhere where someone would have trusted him. And you could have had an opportunity to find. It was probably at that moment you was going to find your person that you could trust, but you were still blocked with this person. So like when people sit there and give these excuses, it's like, what? I have never jumped into any relationship that I couldn't trust the person I was in a relationship with. Because I go into it with trust. If you're not going into it with trust, you're wasting each other's time. Now, if the trust is lost, that's different. Because you're like, damn, I got played. But I didn't go into it like automatically looking for, like, I'm like, oh, I'm like, B5, like, that's just dumb. And then y'all be screaming like these. I'm like, this whole soft, like, it's just irritating because it's like, these are things you should have figured out in the beginning. Like, you going into soft life era is not in regards to like, it's because you're tired, but you still haven't figured out the problems you have. Someone in soft life cannot have distrust in the man that they're with. How can you be soft if you can't trust them? How can he lead if you can't trust him? What is soft about having to be a man with a man? Like, if he wanted to be in a gay relationship, he would have just found another man. I guess that's why a lot of these men turning gay. I guess they
I mean, it's not that, but some women, they got some. And it's usually after they get hurt by the wrong nigga, and I will say that's usually they get hurt by the wrong nigga. They have this big old wall of trust that now you got to do A, B, and C and D before you even get into a relationship. You gotta be this. This is why, like, I don't know if you watch the Kendra G shows, and I mean the super delusional, not even like regular normal. These are like the super delusional, where a lot of them they got like 4 or 5 kids, and they're looking for a man that make over 150K, and they like in their late 30s, and all of a sudden they just like I like to travel and all that other stuff. And I think that's why you get so many of them women, because whoever was they baby daddy before, they didn't have that much trust in them, or they've been hurt. So now the next relationship they in, because of their past relationship of picking the wrong guy, they want to make sure they pick the right guy. Yeah, you laughing, but you see it all the time. It's like one of these G shows, you gonna see them like girls be delusional as hell.
You see, I used to think that too. I really did. For the longest, I was like, yo, y'all delusional. Because like it's crazy to me. But until I realized that they're not delusional. They're throwing out to the atmosphere what they're looking for and hoping. Literally, they are hoping and praying that it will stick somewhere. That's all they're doing is they realize like they done seen so many girls throw out in the atmosphere what they want. And they've received it from like the Kendra show. Like, when she says she does these things where it's like a recap where she's like, oh, this is a couple that came on her show, or, this, she was on Singles and she found this guy or this and that. And it's like, there's a guy who makes, the 6 figures and blase. Like these girls to us it feels delusional because it's like, sis, you got six kids, 6 baby daddies. You living at home with a man right now that's you're currently dating or not dating or just sleeping around with or roommate situation. But you're looking for another man, because he ain't meeting all the criteria, but you hoping a 6-figure man will come through and save you out your misery. To us, it sounds crazy. But to them, it's like, it's hope. Like they're in their mind, they just praying to God that what the prayers that Sierra did, they would find. The prayers that it's a bunch of girls like the Lisa Renners and the or Brittany Renners, like, the possibilities and hopes that they had will find them somehow. Just be on the show. Somebody, a 6-figure man is just watching the show, just how Kevin Samuel had a lot of 6-figure men that used to be on his show and watch his podcast, like his little Instagram, live videos and his podcast, whatever. And these girls would throw out these random crazy, out of control situations. And then the inbox would flood. These girls was like, oh, Kendra, she'll come back was like, oh, I met this guy. He was a DJ. He flew me out after I was on your show. He inboxed me, flew me out there. And then them girls was like, wait, so it was working. And now they're like, let me try. Oh. And so that's what's happening is these people they're realizing some of these girls, these things are sticking for some of them. And they're like, well, let me try. And then some of them be worse off than the other. And they're like, well, if she can find him, and girl is crazy, then that means there's a possibility for me. And they doing it. And that's why these girls are going on these shows with these that has these big, massive numbers, because their inboxes is being flooded afterwards with guys who just looking to smash, who ain't looking for a long time, who's willing to fly them out for a little bit, put the little $10K in their bank account, send them back home, or let them poop, or girls be willing to golden showers, or shit on you, whatever they whatever the man is willing to do for a little bit of change.
Sound like that Prince Abu Dhabi stuff.
And that's why I'm not just out there fucking making myself available, because I'll be damned if your past is shitting on a nigga. You are not touching me within a 10-foot motherfucking pole. That is a motherfucking.
They're not gonna tell you, but it's like these girls, like some of them, they going through some. They like Miami sat there and said out loud that she likes golden showers. Imagine how many extra men gotta jumped in her inbox because of that. Because they like doing that weird stuff.
Amen.
And it's not like I'm lying, but imagine how many extra men jumped in her inbox, was like, oh, I paid 30K, I pay 150K, 200K, 500K, whatever, to let me pee on you. Because they know she with Diddy and he a billionaire, so he definitely paying her well to maintain her. That's what they assume. They don't know what's going on between them, but they're just assuming that. So they willing to upcharge the charge.
Lord have mercy.
Fly her out. Do some things for a little piece of change. And she won't. She won't. Because she real, like, even though she would Diddy, but she's still secret about what they do in the bedroom and what they got going on. So they know she's not gonna be the type to put their business out on blast like that. So it's like, okay, I'm willing to pay. So these girls, it's, to me, I live in the world of delusion. To me, it's like, yo. But then you realize, like, these girls they just want something to stick. They're so desperate right now. Like, they're seeing these city girl eras, they're seeing these BBL girls, they're seeing these soft life girls. They're seeing all of these girls that's just like looks like they're living this grand life, and they just want it so bad because they're tired of working. They're tired of having to feel like they have to put on, do a lot of things, take care of a lot of people. They just want somebody to take care of them. So they're just hoping and praying and desperate. Any anyone who's willing to take them on, they're ready. If you don't even need to have standards, they are there. Like, if you need me to, they done seen the old grandpas, these girls in their 20s, 30s, dating men that's in their 70s, 80s. And then he dies, the Marilyn Monroe, the Anna Nicole Smith stories. They're hoping and praying for something to stick. They want to be able to stay home. They don't see too many social media influencers. They don't see too many YouTube videos where these girls done found themselves a white man that allows them to stay home and be able to, like, soar like a butterfly. So now all of a sudden they all want to be in interracial relationships. Because these Spanish men's, Asian men's, white men are letting these black girls stay home. Because these black men are forcing these black girls to go to work. So that's what's happening now. Like, it's desperation. It's like where people are seeing things. Imagine if we didn't have social media. There was a lot of things we wouldn't be able to see. We wouldn't even know what's going on. We would just know what we can see around our neighborhood and, like, in the location we're in our movies. So you didn't know that people are living this good life, like, outside of your hood. That these girls are getting lucky. They're just going to a basketball game and being picked up by a basketball player or someone who went to the game, and boom, their life have a completely changed. But now you can see these things, and not like you can see one, but you can see them abundant. So now they're like, I want this. Whatever I got to do, they're willing to do anything. They'll go on to 20 people's podcasts. You start to see the same group of girls going into the same podcast. She was on Kevin Samuels. She was on whatever Kendra G, she was on the other lady. She was on this. All these girls that have these, all these girls and guys that have these podcasts that people come on there, looking for hope and possibility. To us, it feels delusional. Like, sis, you have to do some work. You screwed up. You screwed all over. But the thing is, there's a guy who's beyond broken with a lot of money, who's so tired of being alone, or he had a wife, or he had a girlfriend, or whatever the situation was, is not there no more. Either she died during COVID, and like he's hardworking, he's willing to do something, and he's so desperate, he don't know what to do anymore, and he's looking for anyone who's willing to hold the mantle for him, live at home, help him with his kids, take care of the house. He don't mind paying maids as long as let him have sex and stay at home, and he'll accept you. You and your 12 kids. You and your cheating around stance. Cause he's barely home. So he feels like, okay, I understand why you cheating, because I'm never really home like that. That's these girls what they're looking for. They're not looking for a man that really cares. When they come on these shows, they're looking for that. They're looking for the possibility that they're gonna find a man who don't give a damn, who's just as broken as they are,
They're gonna be
who's lost hope.
their life then.
Huh?
Yo,
They're gonna be looking for the rest of their life then.
yo,
No, they're
now,
not. That's the thing. It's there. Yes, y'all think it's for the rest of your life. There is a person. When you see these like look at Bill Gates for example. He had a whole wife and a mistress. Like, let's really look at Bill Gates. Ain't nothing about Bill Gates is screaming sexy. Is screaming wow. Is screaming I want to sleep with you for the rest of my life. But the man had a wife and a mistress.
Hello.
yo,
Yeah, so there's so many of them. These guys who, like, look, did you see the guy from Amazon, what's whatever his name is?
Bezos.
He got divorced from his wife, and he's about to get married, or he got married to a new woman, and she's real young. Well, she's not real young, but she looks young, and she looks like she's 3 or 4, to be honest. Like, she be in them streets. Like, she's not giving his ex-wife's look, like philanthropy, someone who's like innocent, sweet. She's given very much, she knew what she had to do to get him, and she got him. And now she's about to live good for the rest of her life. But there's these guys who, like, we gotta remember, not every millionaire, billionaire is the finest man walking. And 6 figures is only $100,000.
Only. Oh God.
I'm serious. It's like you're making it seem like they're asking for 7-figure earners. They're only asking for a guy who makes at minimum $100,000. That could be anybody. It's a whole. There's way more 6-figure earners in this world that are single and lonely, that are working either in the IT field, that are working in
Finance.
and they're ugly as hell. I mean, miserable looking. The girls at work is surpassing them. Don't even look at them. They in management, CEOs, and we know there's a whole abundance of ugly CEOs. Fat, sloppy body. Just don't give a damn about himself. Ain't shaved in 20 days. You pass by him, his underarms smell like 30 years older. Barely take a shower. There's a lot of these type of men walking around. That's why these girls are throwing them things out there, because they know they're watching the show. They're in their inbox. These guys that's in Africa, in them inbox. Like, they got money. They looking for a green card, but they got money. So these women, they look delusional to us. But I'm telling you, in this world we're living in, delusional is normal now.
I will never subscribe to that. I'm sorry. I can't. It's
Me
impossible.
neither. I think it's okay to have a little. I think it's okay to have a little bit of delusion, but a lot of
But
delusion, that's major.
Nigga, it's
Go ahead,
it's past delusion now. You in a whole nother dimension, and the dimension is lower than anything you've ever experienced.
But y'all think I'm lying? Y'all think that is not true? Like, that possibility is not there? Huh?
I think the women, I think they're not lying because those women jump on their show and that's what they want and that's what they feel like, you know, that's what they're going to get, or that, you know, people will see them and see that, you know, just go past their flaws and just jump on them. So I feel like that's where the delusion comes in. But as far as us as men, we're looking at that like, I'm not saying you, but you know, a person with multiple kids by multiple baby daddies, we're not gonna really like look at them like that, and then like, why would I put this person on there?
So, let me tell you, this is what literally this happened to me. I was watching a Kendra G special where a guy came on there. He lost his wife during COVID, right? And it's been about 2 years or so. He never spoke on if he was completely healed yet, right? You know, he don't have no standards. He didn't really care what they looked like or anything of that nature, or like, it was just, you know, he just wanted somebody to, you know, he didn't say to help with his kids, but he had kids, so it was somebody to help with his kids, whatever. Like, he wasn't specific. He didn't care if they was big, they was small. He didn't care if they was overweight. Like, he didn't say nothing. He didn't even say he didn't want them to have no STDs. No, he wanted them to be clean. He didn't say nothing. He didn't have no preference or anything. It was like, anybody throw in your cards, and if one of y'all, like, if I can tolerate y'all, then, you know, we'll just, you know, we'll figure it out. And I said, and I made a comment. I said, I hoped he healed and not just looking for somebody to help him, you know, help him with his kids. I got ate up. When I say got ate up, I said, it's crazy because a lot of y'all are arguing with me about me saying this comment. It's because y'all don't care about this man. Some of y'all probably just looking for a bed to sleep in. And the fact that he has no preference, y'all like, oh, it's simple. He'll let me sleep in the, you know, sleep on the. I could tolerate him. He works a lot, to the point where it's like impossible for him to have time for his family. He cooks, cleans, and when they saw him, he was folding clothes. So it was like, okay. So it's like, you know, he's independent of himself. He don't really need a woman because he's been holding it down. But it's like, is he healed though? Because it wasn't like, oh, he had time to, you know, it was COVID happened and his wife ended up just, you know, due to COVID situation, she probably died within within a month. because people wasn't dying 2 or 3 years like cancer or something. During COVID, it was like you went into the hospital and within a month or so, if you didn't make it out, you know what happened. So I'm like, and he wasn't an ugly guy, but I'm just like, he didn't have no standards. At this point, he was tired of, being a single parent. So he was willing to accept anything.
You said, "Come on, come on."
Exactly. So I'm like, that's why I'm like, okay, that's him. And the women come up with these same stories too. Like they're tired, they're willing to be with whatever. They want a guy who makes 6 figures. They feel like if you make 6 figures, then we can live in a house peacefully. Like you can't be stressed making 6 figures because you can afford the $2,000 rent. Plus,
It's funny you say that. Not to cut you off. It's funny you say that because I've seen Kendra G curse those same people out. It's just like, when the women has all this delusion and y'all be like stall them out, but when the man says that, y'all like jump on him. So she's definitely called out this double standards on that. So
but the thing is, I can't even take Kendra G serious because the reason why I can't take her serious because when she got on Kevin Samuels' page, she didn't have the same mindset that she's so-called claiming to have now.
Yeah, but a lot could change. It's like she's had this for 4 years, so it's a lot could change in the 4 years. And in those 4 years, I will say this: in those 4 years, I think she started realizing how delusional some of these women
the girls was delusional during Kevin Samuel era. They was
Yeah,
delusional back then, and she was delusional with them. She is delusional with them.
This what I'm saying though. When she started doing her dating shit, because like Kevin Samuels was talking to him, so that was the outside looking in. That was her outside looking in. But when she started doing the shows, and then when she started doing it herself, and she started seeing it for herself, that's when you see some of that changes. To now,
when Kendra G didn't just start her show.
No, I'm saying 4 years. She's been doing it for 4 years, but she even tell you like some of her views have changed, and then like because of some of the women that's been on the show that was doing a lot of delusional fuck shit, even on the show, like she was like, when was the last, especially when she said, when was the last time you've been intimate? And one of the girls was just like, I just got done having sex with this guy. And then she was just like, why you're not with him? And then she's like, I don't know. And
I'm telling you, Ray, do not let Kendra G gaslight you and thinking she's changed. First of all, when Kendra G came on Kevin Samuels' show, she came on there for his his viewership. She's been doing her show years. It's not like she just started her show. She started getting more people showing up to her show ever since after Kevin Samuel died. Her show became a lot more like everybody who went from Kevin Samuel went to her show. But when she jumped on Kevin Samuel's show, she was just as delusional as a bunch of those girls that was on there. She claimed like she's looking for a millionaire, no, she's not looking for a millionaire, but she's looking for a man, this and that, because she's dated millionaires before, and they cheat and this and that, and blase. So Kendra G, she can't scold these women when she was these women.
Yeah, but
nothing changed about her. Not one relationship she's taken in, not one personality about her has changed. When you look at her page, she still acts the same way. She still functions the same way. She cannot gaslight people. She does these things where she tried to pretend like she's, scolding these girls or trying to, protect them or whatever the case may be. It's because it's for clout. She does this because it performs numbers when she makes these little extra tidbits and stuff like that, or she feels like she's going off, or like, oh, you're so delusional, Kendra, you're delusional. Like she's beyond delusional, and you can't scold somebody when you thought like them for a million years. And Kevin Samuel had to tell you about yourself. You need to stop pretending like this is normal behavior. He says the reason why all these girls are like this is because there's no females that can tell them to tighten it up and now you randomly pick 4 or 5 females. Like, why put that video up where you scolded her? Why didn't you put all them the same 20 girls that came before you with that same delusional background? You didn't say nothing to them about being delusional. Or why you not with your baby daddy, since it was 50 girls that came on before you. When you was on there 2 or 3 years ago, you didn't have nothing to say about these girls. You was out here supporting them and everything. But when you want to get a little bit clickbait and you know you're going to post these videos up, these contents up, you always find a way to scold them, or, make it seem like you're on the other team, because we all know Kevin Samuel was the master of marketing with doing that shenanigans. So I have zero respect for Kendra G. Her and her show, like, her show is cool and all, but like, I'm not about to pretend like she's the voice for the females. She is not close to being it. That girl just as delusional as the girls that come on her show.
At least she's making money from it. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I would never say she's like the voice for the females.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is, like, now I'm saying, like, the 4 years that I've seen her doing the show, and there was the one that she did recently. Sadly, it was this 40-year-old from DC that was just like contradicting herself, and she was just batshit crazy. Like, she had to cut her off. But I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, but what I'm saying is just, like, now she's done doing her shows, and a lot of you can tell, like, she had empathy for the women at the beginning, but now, and she'll tell you, just like, all that empathy is kind of like gone out the window. And she even said that she's tired. And I think that's why a lot of female matchmaking, they'll say, like, that's why they stop matchmaking, because some of these women, they have these delusions and they don't want to get rid of those the things that they have, because they're hard to find. So that's where I'm getting at.
But you know what, Ray? That's by design. I feel like that's 100% by design, because what greater motivation for a man to get some shit than a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been like this for thousands of years. Like, women are men's downfall. And this has been documented for so many motherfucking years. So this is why I don't like any of those red pill niggas, because they really do sound like fucking losers. You feeling what I'm saying? You're only really saying all this shit because that one bad bitch that you fantasize about didn't choose you, or you realize that you're not in the league because you're not even in the grounds to participate. Just like many other men aren't in the grounds to participate over these fucking, like, women. You feeling what I'm saying? But at the same time, on the reverse side, now women, because they're socialized to be very hypergamous, they're falling through the same traps that a lot of these red pill men are falling for. You feel what I'm saying? You saw the glitz and the glam and you thought that you was worthy of that shit, only to get put in your place. These women, like, and the sad part is a lot of them are getting put in their place, but the delusion is so strong that sometimes, instead of them humbling themselves and realizing where they at in life, they go to the Kendra G's and they go to these other shows, and then they ask them, yo, what's wrong with me? And then we're like, nigga, everything. Is fucking wrong with you, because you're living in a consistent state of delusion and you're not hearing actual advice when it's being given to you. Now we have an over surplus, because you've noticed in the past like 5 years, especially around the COVID area, everyone's on their podcast shit. You feeling what I'm saying? Everybody and their mama nowadays got something to say about the shit that's going on in society. Themselves in a fucking proper position to even be the change that they want to see in this society. That's why it's easy to fucking turn on your microphone, press the record button, and talk some shit. You feel what I'm saying? But
gaslight the society.
Yeah, but it is much harder to look someone directly in the eye and let them know something about themselves, because you know there's going to be pushback. You know that they're in a constant state of delusion. So even when you do tell them the truth, they're going to treat the truth as the delusion and the delusion as reality. Not because, oh, they're dumb people and, because they don't have anything going for them. A lot of these people have money. A lot of these people have degrees. A lot of these people have high-ranking positions. The main problem is that there's way too many people that co-sign the shit. There's way too many people that actively make money from this shit. So now people who want that same resources, that same access to resources that they got, think they got to do the very same thing. So then the cycle repeats itself and then repeats itself. Women become more and more and more delusional because now the energy is no longer being spent on what's going on and what's wrong with the society. Now it's all about, I need to get mine. I need to get mine. I need to get mine before you get yours. I need to get mine before all of y'all because I'm the baddest bitch. Or with a nigga, I'm the realest nigga in here. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of y'all can't be the baddest bitch or the real nigga. All of you are literal drops in the bucket. There's 8 billion people on this world. You are a speck of dust. Humble your fucking self. And I think that's what we need to start doing. We need to start, not only do we need to bring shame and bullying back, we need to straight up humble niggas. Like this is humility season now. I'm not fucking impressed by your 2 cars, nigga. I'm not impressed by your big house. That shit does absolutely fucking nothing for me. I don't care if you're a boss bitch. I've seen plenty of boss bitches. I was born in 94. Where do you think that shit came from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen that shit all my life. What the fuck makes you so different? Oh, look at this. I got this, that, this, that, this, and that. And I'm like, congratulations. You got this, that, this, and that. All right, go open a Chipotle or some shit. Like, what are you useful for? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how we have to talk to people now. Because if they have the audacity to look at themselves in the mirror and think that they're the greatest thing since in God's green earth, then we need to bring that very green earth that God made and beat them over the head with it. Since you so fucking big and mighty, if I beat you over the head with this God green earth, you should be able to get up. But you notice when you tell people about themselves, what tends to happen? They shut down. Yeah. They can't believe you even have the audacity to even come at them like that, because how dare you, nigga? Who the fuck cares? Because at the very end of the day, you bleed red just like me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, stop giving these people the tools to make them put themselves a step above you, because they're really not. I don't care if it's a millionaire right in front of you with $1 million in his bank account. If you smack that nigga in the face, he's going to react like any other nigga would. You know what I'm saying? These are regular ass people. You're regular. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. You're regular. Boogeyman. The fuck? It's okay to be regular. It's okay. Like, you don't have to be extraordinary in anything, nigga. You're not Goku.
But I'm unique.
Yeah, you're unique in the sense that you got the same face as your fucking father. Sit down. The fuck? Bro. Like, and I'm not saying that to try and belittle people, but like, you also have to understand we're only gotten to this point because a lot of y'all feed into these delusions. A lot of these,
repeat that one more time, Father.
A lot of you fucking feed these delusions like they're hamsters, and you got the seeds in your fucking palm of your hand, and they're just eating the seeds off the palm of your hand. You allow these people to live in their delusions. You allow these people to come there, sit in your face and tell you, I want a 6-figure nigga when they're working at fucking Chipotle. Stop it. Fucking stop. I don't care how big her ass is. Go to Africa. There's an abundance of big asses over there. She's not special. Shit. And, you know, like, it has gotten to a point, right, where, like, because like I'm a no nonsense ass nigga, I will literally tell you about yourself and sleep in my bed well at night, and you're not gonna do a damn thing because I'm protected. But at the same time, like, I don't take pride into trying to bring people down, but that's where we're at right now, because people legitimately are getting hurt because of this. People are legitimately not able to live a regular ass life because of this, because everybody feels like they need to make 6 figures to make it, when it didn't used to be like that. You feeling what I'm saying? Like, bro, you could be making like $60,000 a year and live rather comfortably. You don't need all the extra shit. You got a nice place that you can stay in. You know, you make enough money to support yourself. Like, that should be the bare minimum. The bare minimum shouldn't be me having to go out of my way to look for some shit, to look for people that's not saying the same shit as everybody else. Because you know what that means? That means a lot of y'all are being sheep. A lot of y'all are niggas that are being led to the motherfucking slaughter, and you're just willingly going over there because the shepherd's fucking pole is made out of gold and you want the motherfucking gold. You're chasing gold and you don't have anything to show for it rather than the motherfucking crumbs on your face when they feed you them motherfucking butter biscuits. Oh, that's a good little steed. There's a good little sheep. Here's some butter biscuits. You just, I want a six-figure man. I want a six-figure man. Nigga, you can barely stand up straight. Shut the fuck up. Go ahead. Because like it gets to a point where it's just like you see it and then you become numb to it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a numbness within me now. And it's like I'm at a point where I have to become the villain. You know what I'm saying? I have to be Shang Tsung. I have to steal souls now because a lot of y'all aren't doing what you're supposed to do, which is being a productive member of society. Production doesn't mean just going to work every day and putting in 8 hours. Production means that wherever you are, wherever you find yourself at, you are a benefit to that environment. If you see people crashing out and doing shit wrong, you are the correction. And there's nobody wants to fucking be the correction anymore. Everybody wants to live in delusion, make the money, and then shit out whatever they consume so that they can consume again. That shit is over now. I'm on your head.
You heard it right here. Father is on your head.
I am on your motherfucking head. Go ahead, bro.
Let's get to the video.
Me looks like this. No, I'm joking. Soft life is not all about sitting on the couch looking cute, sipping rosé. Soft life is femininity. It's allowing yourself to exude that, to be ladylike, to be comfortable in your own skin, to know that you don't have to be all hard all the time. It means self-care, taking care of yourself. It means taking time out to do things that you enjoy doing. Soft life means saying no sometimes, saying no to the things that don't bring you peace. Because sometimes a lot of things that you're saying yes to can also be driving that hardness as well. So I feel like understanding where you are, understanding the energy that you want to have around you all falls into encompassing the soft life.
I don't want to sound like a prick, but I feel like this is stuff you should be doing regardless of it being just called soft life. Like, I understand some people, live differently, but like when you want to take time to yourself, I feel like you shouldn't have to force yourself. You just do it. If you don't want to be around the energy that, and I understand we do stuff we don't have to do, but not if you don't really have to, you don't have to put yourself through it. Like you could just be about yourself, and you don't really have to call it soft life. You just do it. Am I reading into that wrong? Or
no, you are not reading into that wrong. As a matter of fact, that's the biggest criticism with soft life. There's nothing really soft life about what you're saying. It's regular ass shit. Again, it's propaganda. Like I said, you're only pushing that shit because it makes money. Soft life is something that can be marketed, right? Like when you hear the word soft life, you think of certain people. You think of certain themes. You think of certain you think of certain platforms. That is the point of propaganda. When you think of a certain term, you are gravitated towards that platform. You are gravitated towards that influencer or that creator that is within that sphere of influence. That's why you have a whole bunch of women sitting there saying soft life when soft life was shit that you was doing 10,000 years ago.
do you agree, B? Or Well, I think she having technical difficulties. Till she come back, I'm gonna just play.
The most recent no.
I'm back.
Been...
Okay. Do you agree, B, or no?
Agree with that. Soft life should be things that you're already doing.
Yeah, it shouldn't have a label. It's just things you do. Just do.
Didn't I say this in the beginning? To me, when I hear soft life era, I feel like it just became in this like mental health era. that everybody been like mental health conscious, but to me it's like another form of schizophrenia. Like you're talking about a whole nother personality, a whole nother being that lives within you. Like, is that not schizo? Like, it's still you. All these persons should still be you. But you're saying like it's like you shut down one person and this other person just accidentally woke up. That's schizo. Like it's not giving me like what they feel like it should be given is not given that. It's given very much crazy. Like you should be naturally like leaving child, you know I live in a world of delusion, so let me go ahead and just let them be.
Okay. I
'Cause
was. I'm
a
gonna
level
just
crazy is just a level crazy. We all in it now.
yeah. I'm gonna just skip to here where she goes practicing soft life. Let's see what she says about that.
Some of the things I practice daily, just to like give myself a soft life, to feel like a woman. Waking up in the morning, talking
Wait,
to God, not
wait.
Flag on the play.
Wait. It must be because of the whole transgender era. That's why people feel like they had like soft life was created. Because they felt like to like differentiate themselves from like the transgender and like being considered as like, you know, woman, they have to create this soft life era like to make them feel like because I'm like one thing I have to practice to being a woman. I'm like, girl, what are you then?
I don't know what I am.
Like I'm so confused. Like, what are you? If you're not a woman, then what are you? Like, why do you need to practice being a woman?
Yeah, because I'll be like, how do you? It's like, how do you practice being a they them? What is it?
Exactly. Like it sounds like I don't think like we realize how crazy we sound. Like this new era of like mental health like increase that has happened during after COVID. And like, you know, people are now understanding these mental health words like narcissism, soft life,
Which I think they used wrong.
gaslighting, love bombing, you know, all these words that have, you know, expanded people's vocabulary all of a sudden. It's like we are real life. You know, I live in a world delusion, so let me just go ahead. I understand this. Practice being a woman.
Yeah, we
Practice
gotta
it all.
practice being a woman.
Exactly. However way you feel like you need to practice being you, or the other half of you, I don't know, child.
Honestly, material life, you want to know what the worst part is? Like the way I'm thinking about it, like if you want to practice, just go stand in the mirror. But they delusional, so they're gonna spend like $2,000 to go to a retreat in which nobody knows about, so you can reclaim your motherfucking femininity. And then they're gonna tax the shit out you because you got rooming and lodge, and your plate was low vibrational, so that's an extra $300 charge. This is the new reality now. They're about to sell them shit out of them packages.
It,
Oh man,
what
it's
wasn't what's his name? Derek Jackson wife selling practice,
that's
selling the
exactly who
package
I was thinking. That is exactly who I was thinking about.
on
Eric Jackson's wife.
guilt. What
She's
was that practice on? Like guilt trip or like understanding. I can't even remember what the package was, but it was something in regards to being you, like figuring it out. Like she was selling a package on that, right?
yeah.
I can't remember what it was. I know I wasn't gonna buy it, but it was like I knew it was she was selling a package.
I'll look it
Like,
up. I gotta. I'll look it up in
like
the.
this was a whole. She was a whole like a whole hole. Like you literally openly opened your arrange yourself to become a Tuesday,
Damn.
and then got mad when everybody else understood that your arrangement was being shown to the world and had us delusional thinking that you know he was just cheating on you, but that's how y'all started. Y'all was like that from the beginning. The only thing changed was you became like the main Tuesday. But you were still a Tuesday.
Damn.
You got a whole day named after you. That's
Got a
some
whole
next
day
level
Tuesday.
hoeing. I never, bro.
Bitch, you a Tuesday.
Bitch, you Tuesday. Today is Sunday. My Sunday hoe is coming. Now, if you want to upgrade to Sunday, you gonna polish this motherfucking flow.
And she made us all a fool in her little story. And then we was like, oh, why is she so defending him? And then all the time I some she finally found her worth. Girl.
Nigga, did you find your worth inside or outside the fucking nut box?
You love bomb the hell out of society with that.
Let's talk about it.
Talking about she love bomb us. She had us believing that like she was so like hurt and baffled when this was what they agreed upon. You just mad because now the world is against him. And so you can't stay in that scene because now you have to do like the Jada Pinkett's of the world. You know, figure out how to get ahead of it so it don't screw you over too. So you start going on, you know, you take a 6-month sabbatical, then you come back and start going on world tours, you know, explaining a story that we never asked about. I guess she must have read Worthy from Jada Pinkett Smith, and it was like, okay, it's my time now.
Somebody read that damn book. Okay. Yeah, it was $5K for a healing retreat. That's what. $5,000 for a healing retreat. That's what.
Nigga, if I need a healing retreat, I'm just gonna go spark up. The fuck, I need to pay $5K.
First of all, she could never be the person to give a healing retreat when you was a Tuesday. How can you teach anybody to be anything other than a hoe? In the word of the Lord. That's all you could teach them, how to be as a hoe in the word of the Lord.
See, the Bible says, I am a vessel. You going to keep your
I'm like, yo, I'm not playing with y'all. And I'm not about to play with this Christina what is her name? Crystal Renee.
Crystal Renee.
I'm not about to play with her too.
Crystal Renee Hazlett.
Nigga, I just want the package. Is she selling any packages?
I doubt it. She's trying to teach herself how to become a woman again.
Lord,
I guess she's in her young girl era now.
I just want you to know she's 42. I just so people to.
And that's the scariest part about it is grown ass women that are on this wave because something has been taken away from them that they never had to give up in the fucking first place.
You know what it is? That why grown ass women is on this wave?
Why?
It's because they're watching these young girls live this life.
That influencer life?
The city girl era life, the being flown out, and they're trying to figure out how come. Because they have to work so hard. Like, let's be honest. It's a whole lot of grandmas and moms and between the ages of 35 and up watching these, 20s, these girls in their 20s living this like life of luxury, right? And it's draining them because they're remembered in their 20s, they were told they needed to work hard. They needed to, grow their business, establish who they are in the working field. Work, any level of work. And so now they're watching these same girls that was their age living this life of luxury of being social influencers, having the ability to stay home, being flown out, being this, being that, and they're just like, They're low key jealous. They're not gonna say it out loud, but they're low key jealous of these young girls that are getting to live this life that they wish they had the opportunity to live, and they're dating these guys that is their age group that they should have access to, but these guys feels like these women are old and done, and they don't want them. Where they have these 20-year-olds that they're constantly racing against, these 20-year-olds that's in the soft era, these 20-year-olds that, allows the men to be a men, don't pay it in half. They allow him to like pay the whole mortgage and, make him feel important because he's working hard and she's just happy to be around. She doesn't complain. She doesn't stress him out. She just lets him be him. She doesn't check his email. She doesn't check his text messages. She's just happy to be able to sleep in the house, wake up, feed him some food, make him a sandwich, pack up a bag for him, kiss him when he gets up in the morning, wait for him to get back at night, and go to sleep, have sex with him, and do it all again the next day. So he feels like he's won something, where he's dated this, this woman who was told to work, make it work, figure it out, this and that. That's always saying, I need you to do this, do this, do this, do that, do that. And he's like, I don't want that. I want something young, someone that I can mold, train to be silent, not someone who can still talk and who's ready to, go back at me, tell me to do this, scream at me, yell at me. And they're jealous. They want that.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to the video.
Instantly jumping on my phone, taking a bath, soaking, reading a book, working out, taking care of myself. I may treat myself to dinner. I may cook. Because I feel like those are things I enjoy doing as a woman, like that make me feel like when I'm in the kitchen, it's just something that feels so feminine about it. I feel like I'm like tapping into a different energy than if I'm just like ordering Uber Eats, which I do all the time. But it's something like I do that. I like to cook. I like to do yoga. Those are things that calm me. Any type of activities that calm me down is a way that I tap into my soft life. Putting on my silk pajamas, pouring a glass of wine or champagne for no reason, no celebration. We just do it because that's what we do. And also that like understanding that I don't have to have a reason to do something extravagant. I don't have to, it doesn't, oh, well, it's a birthday. Now we can pop some champagne. No, it's a Tuesday and it's 12 o'clock in the day. I do it because I want to, because I can. That's period. Y'all heard me.
She sound like me. It's besides the feminist shit. She sound like me when I was in my PPV. I woke up. I cooked when I wanted to. I took a shower. I washed my clothes. I drank beer because there was beer in the refrigerator. If not, I had some Henny and vodka. I gotta take that. I just did it just because I didn't. Was no special.
Yes, Ray. Yes.
Yeah. I went to work. I answered some trouble calls.
Oh, don't forget that period. I told you they're jealous of these 20-year-olds.
Oh my God. This is funny you say that because it's just this is all the shit I did in my 20s when I was in my PPV. It was like and the funny thing is, anybody that understood that time in the PPV, I know you did me. Motherfuckers was having parties like every day.
It's because of social media. They're watching these things that they didn't get the chance to do. Like the girls who are asking for a soft life now, these so-called, full-blown independent women, they didn't have a chance to like live, like, truly enjoy their 30s. Their 20s.
You know what's funny? I agree with you because there's a lot of women in their 30s that travel now. They go to the Dominican Republic. They go to all, but they out there in Miami. And then I do
Mm.
notice that some of these women out here that, they're trying to compete with the younger women. So
Yeah.
even when like a lot of the men their age prefer younger women, they'll try to chastise them for wanting a younger woman and all that other stuff. But that's how do you feel about it? But they know they out here. They're trying to compete instead of just let the young girls have this stuff. So I do agree with
If
what you said.
if if a 20-year-old want to be sleeping around with a 90-year-old, that's her business. You know why? Because first of all, it's one or two things. Either sis is mentally screwed the hell up, or two, sis is literally Anna Nicole Smith walking around freely,
Yeah, so
hoping and praying he is dying soon and leaving everything for her. Because there is no reason for you to be in your 20s thinking it's okay to be with a 90-year-old. It's one or two things. Either you're hoping he dies soon and you're left with everything, or you mentally screwed the hell up. You've been screwed for a very long time. That means you've been mistreated when you're a child by older men. To think that this is okay for you to be in your 20s sleeping with a 90-year-old. That means you've been abused for a very long time and you mentally don't even realize you screwed up still.
God damn.
Why are you in your 20s sleeping with a 40 or 50-year-old? What could you gain from that? I'm telling you, they don't. It's things that people don't even realize. It's like things happen to them when they're, because anyone in their right mind, that just wouldn't be normal. And I understand you get tired, and so you hoping to get you somebody in their old age and tired too, where you can live your good life.
mm-hmm.
Because we done seen the Marilyn Monroes, the Anna Nicole Smiths, so we know it's possible. So a lot of these girls they're praying for possibilities, but it's like something got to be wrong in there. If it's not in regards to like because you want to be a sugar baby and you're doing it because you truly are so called in love, girl, something's wrong in there. That's it. Something's wrong in there.
Okay. Let's see what's the rest of her practicing soft life look like.
Do it because you can. Pour your glass of champagne on Tuesday afternoon, sis, and toast to yourself and to your future man. Right? Don't forget about your man over here. Y'all better keep manifesting. Y'all don't forget he over here. Okay. Yes. He taller than that. So he like right here.
No, child. There go that delusion.
She got another video called Dating in Them 40s. I don't know if you want to, we can look at that some other time, but just so you
Child,
know,
the man, her delusional ass husband is tall. She stay at home with him and she cooks, like cooking, like she said, something about cooking just makes her excited because that's what she feels like. Cooking just makes her feel feminine. Girl, she need to go to therapy. She don't need nothing else but to go to therapy. Once she starts going to some true therapist that's willing to be honest with her ass, she gonna get out this world of delusion and realize it's a lot of things she's saying that is delusional.
mm. Yeah, especially I think her husband's Victor Wembanyama because that's a basketball player.
I'm telling you, a whole sports athletic man.
Yeah, but
Yo, I am stupid. You know what? Even when I'm filming, when I'm working 15, 16-hour days, sometimes longer than that, I can't get to the gym because I'm too tired. Those are times where if you know me, you know I am a workaholic. I take my job and craft very serious. As soon as I wrap, I'm studying. If I'm on a break, I'm studying. I always want to make sure that I'm on it at all times. And when I'm doing those things, I make sure my soft life comes into making sure I'm eating good, making sure when it's time to rest, just rest. Don't worry about the workout. Your body need understanding, okay, in this moment, I know you feel like you need to work out. I know you're on camera, but your body needs to rest. And understanding and tapping into that and listening to your body is a part of the soft life, because when you're going, you're not really listening, that's when you get sick. That's when you pass out on set. We've seen it happen before. So taking the time to really just rest when I'm filming, making sure I'm still eating healthy, paying attention to what I'm putting in my body. And when I'm done, that's when I take a vacation, because the way we shoot is insane. So when I'm done, my brain is fried. I don't want to talk to nobody. I just want to get to a beach and lay out all day, drink my good drinks and have some fun. But I think it's all in the balance. You know there's some times where you got to grind. I'm not saying that every day you're going to wake up sipping champagne. You got to work, and you're going to have to grind. You have to have a work ethic, but you have to find that balance. And when I'm working, I may not be able to get a massage, but I try to get them on the weekends if I can. But during the week when I'm filming, I can't do that. But
yeah. Okay. All right. I was just skip to this. I'm gonna skip to right here. Just because everything she's saying is just regular shit.
we say that we are all made in God's likeness and in His image. I'm a woman and I'm made like God. You're a man and you're made like God.
No, wait. Where father at? I want him to put his little input on this statement she just made. That's how you know she don't be reading her Bible for real. She just be saying stuff and thinking. And I don't even know why she laughing, because she sound crazy.
I think the cups of she probably had more than one cups of that rose.
Exactly. The thing that's if we were taken from the rib of a man, right?
Yeah.
She gonna work my last nerve. This little girl right there.
Father, you still there?
I think his thing is messing up.
Okay.
All right, let's play it.
Take imaginary. So my man watching, you're a man and you're made like God, and God is not a female or a man. Why are we so hard on men who are super feminine and hard on women?
Reverse it back so father can hear the statement she done said. Right.
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
We say that.
Where do you feel God fits into how men and women get criticized for having energy of the opposite sex?
We are all made in God's likeness and in His image. I'm a woman and I'm made like God. You're a man and you're made like God. He did not make imaginary. So my man watching, you're a man and you're made like God.
Father, what you think about this statement? her definition of the Bible, because clearly she don't read it for real.
I will say this right
in the book of Leviticus.
So, I mean, like in the context of the Bible, because a lot of people like to take the Bible literally sometimes.
But we ain't come from the rib though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But there are people on this earth that will take that literally and will try to impose a life on you based on that teaching. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to matters of the Bible, that shit is as subjective as you asking someone what the best type of orange juice is. You're going to get 1,000 different answers, right? It's the same way with the motherfucking Bible. So when people quote the Bible, I try not to take too much from it, because what your interpretation of the Bible is directly between you and God as it was instructed in the Bible. So when the topic, when this topic comes up, like, people like to make it seem like men and women are like opposites, like, and we are opposites, but at the same time, if we come from the same place, then there's a sameness between us. There's things that we both do, right? So why don't those similarities simply just become the foundation for building something, rather than y'all just fucking pointing out the differences over and over and over? Oh, the man is supposed to lead. The man is supposed to lead. Women's supposed to be submissive. And I'm like, I'm a boss bitch. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can fuck on your nigga and all this other shit. And I'm like, bruh, it's just noise. And now it's gotten to the point where niggas is making money off the shit. So it's going to continue happening because people are benefiting from it. But if we're actually going to have this conversation about why men and women perceive things differently, then let's do so in a matter that's both beneficial to us at the same time, because the root of it should be that we come from the same fucking place. Is that so hard to understand? Am I saying anything that's confusing?
I get you. I get it.
I don't know, man. People just, I feel like as I'm getting older and I'm watching these videos of like other people that have these platforms, and it's like, I'm not hating on it, but at the same time, let's have genuine ass conversations, because there's some shit that's wrong. You feel what I'm saying? And it's been acknowledged, but I don't think it's being addressed in the way that it should be, especially when it comes with the qualms between men and women. Because if we let these niggas talk, it's gonna be another 100 years of this. And I feel like we're at a point now where it's just like, if you say you're grown, then just be that. You don't have to peddle it as like soft life, or like, being a Sigma male and being an alpha male. Like, nigga, just be you. If this is how you interpret life, then do it in the best way that you can. Period. And like, whatever opportunity comes your way, you just work with the parameters within that if it's going to benefit you. But these people have made it so to the point where it's become so overcomplicated. Everybody got a damn voice. Like, it gets annoying. Sometimes, just like, bro, that's a 34-minute video we're watching, bro. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Male or a man. Why are we so hard on men who are super feminine and hard on women that are super masculine? And I'm trying to figure that, because that's really, really good, because God made us in his image, and like I feel like a lot of times the feminine and masculine energy comes from like our upbringing and what we saw. For me, I was raised in a 2-parent household, but I was very influenced by my cousins. Most of my cousins, my girl cousins, were like tomboys. We were raised in the country, so we were always doing like playing in dirt and out in the fields, in the woods, doing stuff like that. But I feel like we judge people for being feminine, especially men. And I feel like I want a man that can tap into his feminine side. I'm not saying be like, yeah, girl, cheers. I'd be like, okay, you're taking too far. Chill out. But you know what I'm saying? I still want to be able to have him to be vulnerable. And sometimes vulnerability for femininity.
Delusion.
I think your delusion meter went off. She couldn't even contain that shit.
That's why I'm laughing. Delusion. Oh man.
For real, like make it make sense. Like I can't understand it. How you want to live in your soft life era, but you want also men that can tap into his feminine? So what
Yeah.
state of delusion is this?
Usually that's what I ask. What do you mean by tap into your feminine side?
So
Ain't that another soft life? That's two soft lives living together.
yeah, I think I mean I know what she means. Like she just wants a nigga that's not hyper masculine. I think that's what she's trying to say, and that's why
But you want to stay at home and don't work.
yeah, but at the same time, that's why I said this shit becomes overcomplicated because when it comes to masculinity and femininity, like again, it's gonna be subjective. Niggas like is gonna think, bro. You know, there's a lot of niggas that think niggas taking care of their appearance is feminine.
Is actually pretty. Grooming is just standard.
It's just standard. You feeling what I'm saying? Everybody grooms. It's not a masculine or feminine thing. It's grooming. You know what I'm saying? So
niggas who ain't going to work is already tapped into their feminine. They ain't working. That's real feminine.
That's real feminine. You know, and it's just like, okay.
Because you want a nigga to not work either.
Yeah.
You want to not be working. He don't be working. So y'all both not working. So y'all both sitting at home on the couch.
Yeah,
with each other.
Yeah, somebody gotta be a bad bitch.
Yeah, I'm saying it gotta be the bad bitch for both of us. The
delusion. This is delusion. She delusion. You know, but then again, I operate in the world of delusion, so I guess it's understandable.
Delusion. Oh shit.
Go ahead, sis. Get you and your sis together.
Oh my god.
So they're gonna be sitting on the couch talking about sis. Sis, guess what happened today?
Let me tell you what this bitch did. Ooh. Let me get the rose first.
Fuck up, Ray.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's funny.
I know it.
Say vulnerability for femininity. I feel like everybody should be vulnerable. I was talking to somebody the other day talking about men shouldn't cry. Like I never let anybody see me cry. Why? Why don't you do that? Like there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't feel like you should tap. That's a human feeling. Don't make that's a feminine thing. Only females cry. I feel like that's what's wrong with a lot of men and women. Men today is that they bottle so much inside because they've been told, man up, suck it up. You shouldn't cry. Don't do that. Like toughen up. You weak. You a bitch. Like all these things. And that's not the case. Like, no, come cry on my shoulder. We're going to be good. Let's figure it out. But
delusion.
You know what's funny, B? I was going to say, I never believe women when they say shit like that.
Delusion. Another state of delusion.
I'm going to have to get a delusion.
Keep crying on his shoulder. Keep letting him cry on his shoulder. Pretty soon you're going to start calling him a bitch. Nigga, toughen up. Why you still crying for? What you crying about?
And that right there, that what you just explained, material life, is what I keep trying to tell them. It's like men are not saying that shit to hurt your feelings or like to make it seem like our emotions aren't important. Men don't do it because women talk. It's that simple. But if we say it, it's going to come up again. Men like understand this. That's why they don't open up a lot when it comes to, you know, their raw emotions and shit like that, because a lot of the time it gets weaponized against us. It happens near constantly. I've had it happen to me twice.
Well, a man don't have to guess with me. I'm gonna tell you, don't say it to me. Go find your therapist.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not there. I am just not there because I don't want for us to one day get into a little masculine brawl and I have to go low. That's not. That's not the way you want to see your man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's supposed to be strong. That's the reason why you can be weak. But if your man is, I know he has some weak points and he wants to come home into silence and try to figure it out himself. He's not looking for you to figure it out for him. A man's going to want to figure it out himself first, because he don't want you to see him weak, see him unable to, to lead, unable to figure it out, unable to, like, find the viewpoint. He don't want that. He don't want you to see that, because once you start seeing that in him, you're going to always start seeing that in him. He's never going to be the same man in your point of view. You always going to remember that weak moment. You always going to remember, oh, he ain't know what to do. I have to help him out. And women can be very spiteful sometimes. They don't even realize it. It's not your job to tell a man, oh, toughen up. That's not your job.
Stop acting like a little bitch.
Exactly. That's the problem right there. It should be that's the reason why fathers exist. That's the reason why they have men in this world and everything, to make sure the man know, like, he also has a person like, yo, this is what happened. Tell me I'm not, like, I'm not wilding out. And they'll be like, nah, you toughen up, figure it out, get back on the road. But if your woman is telling you that, she's not gonna respect you. Eventually she's gonna start disrespecting you. And it's gonna happen so like stuff like you wouldn't even realize it's happening. That's how crazy it's gonna be when she starts slowly disrespecting to the point where she don't see you as a man no more. But go ahead, sis. We all live in the world of delusion, girl. Tell him to lay on your shoulder so you can start calling him a little girl.
Let me go to the outro. I think this be the last thing because.
No, let's finish. No, let's finish watching her in the world of delusion.
All right,
let's go back to where she said he could lay on her lap. I mean, her shoulders.
Oh, shit.
Like, no, come cry on my shoulder. We're gonna be good. Let's figure it out. But I feel like we have to be open to all sides. That it definitely, there's a balance in men and women, and we have to be open to all sides. They come with our men and they come with our women. All right, guys, you already know this is my favorite part of the show, positive outcomes, where you guys, my community, my family, write in to get my advice on certain things that you're going through.
Oh, this
and
should
today,
be fun.
This young woman says, "Hi, Crystal. I just wanted to tell you that I love you and I feel like I know you. I watch you every week and I love your show. I am a mother of 5 and I want to say I love my kids very much, but I am tired, honey. I'm tired. Everyone on Instagram is talking about this soft life. And I'm like, Brandy, I want to be down. I know that's right. I want to be down. I used to love that song. Can you please give me some tips on how I can have a soft life? Because I really deserve it. Yes, you do, sis. First of all, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. But let's get into it. Ooh, mother of 5. I know you tired, sis. So you definitely have to find time for yourself. You have to find time to literally say, hey, kids, I need a minute. My mom used to do this thing where she would come in from work and she would say, I need an hour. I need an hour. And that was another way that I knew you got to take that time for yourself. So do that. And then also, everybody's on Instagram talking about the soft life, but everybody ain't living it. So don't get caught up in what everybody's doing on Instagram. You have to figure out what works for you, what makes you feel good, and be open to that. But you do deserve it. Know that you deserve it. Take time to find out what you like to do. Tap into that. You'll start to find balance and you'll start to feel softer. All right. Thank you so much for writing in.
Another set of delusion.
I could have gave her that advice.
No, she has another set of. Wasn't she talking? Look at this delusion. Everybody on Instagram talking about the soft life, but they're not living it. Ain't this why you want to live it too?
Now, notice, because the very funny thing is that
what am I going through?
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's very funny because the shit he's saying is very simple. You know what I'm saying?
Very simple.
Like, She basically said, if you need an hour, just take an hour out of your day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like you're a mother of 5. Like, that's obviously a lot of work, but because that work is worth it, you will do what it is that it takes to take care of yourself, so you can do that work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't like it's not it doesn't sound profound because it's really not. It's just because people are so distracted and people are so confused and people, like material life keeps saying, live in delusion. They need certain things broken down for them to the point where it's just like, that's it. And I'm like, yes, and like, yes, that's it. It's like, I don't know. It's like, for example, like if somebody asks me today, it's like, oh, I want to get into a relationship with somebody. How should I approach it? Honestly, that's not really a hard question to ask. Just be yourself and like focus on the people that like you for you, and then use that to cultivate a bond and express your interest. And if it doesn't work out, then shit. You know what I'm saying? Be able to handle rejection. It's not always about you. Like, niggas can just answer the question that's given to them. But now, because you have the addition of influencers and everybody doing the rah shit and look at me, and everybody gets distracted, they don't cultivate that time for themselves to really understand who they are. There was a video that I watched, and it was like, so you have spirituality, which is the study of yourself as a human being. And then you also have like I think the example that he gave was like physiology, where they study like the patterns of like human beings as a species, like the scientific side. You feeling what I'm saying? So, yeah, that spirituality aspect is very important, and it gets neglected so much because people think it's like some voodoo, like hocus pocus shit. It's like, no, it's really not. It's just understanding who you are. That's the advice you literally just gave. Just understand who you are. Like, take that time for yourself to take care of yourself, nurture yourself, and understand that you can put in the work that you want to put in, especially being a mother of 5 kids. But if you are not taking care of yourself, then you can't do the work. It's gonna feel like what's it called? Toil. It's going to feel like it's draining the shit out of you, when it really shouldn't drain you. It should just be work that is done that is conducive to it, to ensure that you're meeting the objectives that you need to meet. You got to be able to like separate the work from the person doing the work. Like, separate those two. Don't become your work, nigga. You're gonna die.
So the problem I have with her advice, the reason why I said it was delusional, is because, first of all, you're responding to a mother of 5, which we had no extra information in regards to. She just says she's a mother of 5 and she's tired and she want to operate in the soft life. Who's helping her? How can she operate in this soft life when it's just her by her? Like, is she a wife that has 5 kids? Is she single with 5 kids? All she told us is she's a mother of 5 and she wants to operate in the soft life. Since we know nothing about you. We don't know if you are a mother of 5 adult kids or little kids. Because you ain't got no hour. If you got a bunch of little babies, you can't sit there and tell them, oh, give me an hour if you still got a newborn in the house. Because they're going to look at you confused and in disbelief. Like, what's that? In the soft life, okay, you tell her don't look at social media because a lot of people talking about this soft life. The reason why she's talking about it is because she did look at social media. How you gonna tell her don't look at social media after she already looked at it? Like, that's the reason why she wants this. I understand she is tired. You have 5 kids. Did she think about getting her tubes tied after kid number 2? Because you had to been tired after 1.
Put the dick
Number
back.
2 was exhausting. Number 3 was out of control. Number 4 was wow. Number 6 or 5 was like, wow, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So something in you is super fertile. So you want to operate in this soft life, girl. There's some steps. You might want to go see the doctor and cut that thing out because that hot box of yours is great. These guys ain't pulling out. Hubby ain't pulling out. He popping more out. You're gonna be 27 kids in pretty soon.
Mm.
So what soft life is 5 kids? That's expensive. Even if you pass down every inch of clothing that each one of your kids had, that's expensive still because you're gonna have to hold on to a lot of things. We don't know what age she is. We don't know nothing about these kids. I'm like, you want to operate in soft life? Sis, you need to operate in just knowing how to be a mother or a wife. Don't worry about the soft life. Focus on your task at hand. And the soft life ain't your task at hand right now. You got 5 kids that's still dependent on you. Or is it 5 adults? Because why would you tell us you're a mother of 5 and they're a bunch of grown ass kids? They don't need you no more. So you want us to know you have 5 kids that's still dependent of you. What you need to be operating in soft life for? You need to make sure, your kids are straight. Yeah, I understand you need to focus on your mental, making sure either if you're going back to school to get a better job or a better degree plan or whatever situation that you're able to, put them in daycare. Make sure you have the financial plans for all these things. Soft life is for people who got time. These are people who have time. They have somebody else who's holding the burden for them. If you ain't got no other person who's holding the burden with the financials to hold the burden, how can you operate in soft life?
Mm.
That's the state of delusion. You can't just throw a boat on somebody's back and tell them to carry it. And the only thing they can really hold weight on is a little bicycle. Girl, don't be giving these people like this is like she lives in the state of delusion and she's trying to give people this concept of soft life. Yeah, I understand social media has already enlightened people's eyes. But to live in soft life, you have to have the time to be in a soft life.
Not to mention, and not to cut you off, not to mention, she is an actress. So some of her soft life stuff she can afford. How do you know you can
Exactly.
afford some of the shit that, because a lot of people, they want to see some things and then they're going to try to emulate it. And some of y'all can't afford half of the shit.
Yeah. She's like in her, to be honest, her soft life things are just normal day things, like going to get your hair done, going to get your nails done. She says getting a massage, um, whatever else she had. These are just regular day things. But I'm like, that's the thing is, I'm telling you, these people are in a state of delusion to think this is soft life. This is being regular day females. This is nothing soft life about that. Soft life is a fragile person, very fragile, low key disabled person. Can't do anything for themselves. Is dependent on somebody else completely 100%. None of y'all can't operate in this soft life for real. It's like you don't have the time to be extremely weak to be in a soft life era. That means you have to be like, I mean, to the men, it's like looking at somebody who could easily be broken. That means she's so dependent of you that even her breathing is dependent of you. Her waking up in the morning, her only purpose in life is to literally guide and take care of you. A lot of these girls, they saying things and they're like, it's like you're living in a state of delusion. What you want is just to be pampered. You want to feel taken care of. But you're not ready to be fragile. You're not ready to be 100% dependent on somebody else, on a man where you don't even own, you don't have a job. You have zero source of income coming in. You have nothing to your name. If he leaves you right now, you will crumble to the ground and break, become homeless in our, because you are so dependent of him. Everything is under him. Every penny, every cent. You are stay at home. Every grocery that comes in the house is because of the money he has. The car that you drive, it's under his knee. If he leaves you, you have nothing. Like, these girls be saying stuff. I'm like, y'all are in a state of delusion. None of y'all want to operate in the true soft life. Soft. How can you operate in soft? But I live in a state of delusion, so let me just mind my business.
Well, at least we know you can spot them like the best of them. Let's finish wrapping this up. God damn it.
And what am I growing through? Ooh. I'm going through learning how to relinquish control, to not always be in control, because I think that's a part of a lot of the pressure and anxiety that I put on myself. And I'm growing through understanding that there's a balance in everything. And when I find that balance, I've really tapped into something. So finding the balance of my soft life, but also keeping that grit and that grind that I have. And yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. So I'm growing through that. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode with me and my man. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We are nothing without you. Next time y'all come, I'm gonna have a man. I'm just gonna put that out there. Or sometime this year, I will. But no, seriously, if you guys want to write in, please write in to keepitpositivesweetie@gmail.com. I appreciate you guys so much. Tap in with me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the things at Love Crystal Renee. And I will see you guys next time. Can't wait. Take care. And in the meantime, you know what to do. Keep it positive, sweetie.
All right, we keep it positive. Hey. So, have we learned anything from this video? Like,
there's too many people in delusion. Too many people in the world of and I operate in the world of delusion, so I understand. We all living in delusion, so I 100% understand. But some people be on a higher level of delusion. Like, I operate on a low level of delusion. Too many people are operating on a high level of delusion, and it is I'm just baffled by it. Like, the more I watch social media, I'm just in shock. Like, I just don't even think this is realistic. Like, is this really the world we're living in? But it is. So I just got to figure out how to fit in and let them be. Because they didn't really ask for our opinion. They just throwing it out in the atmosphere. And we just giving out opinions. Because that's what we do.
Yes, sir. I personally, like, at the beginning, I said I feel like most of the people who want the soft life are independent women that's just tired of working and they're just trying to go from one extreme to another. This gotta prove my point. And like,
this is an extreme. I refuse. I could never. My mind wouldn't even allow me to go into a soft life. That's what I said. I don't even know why would I want to be there.
and I will say this. I feel like those who are going, that's trying to, I feel like like I said, it's like getting beaten an addiction with another addiction, because some of y'all are like, especially when I said this in the Alpha Women that Die Alone, some of y'all are just not going to let loose of the reins. Like, you're going to want to take control or be the co-captain, even though there should be one captain. Like you want to be the leader, and then now all of a sudden you get another alpha leader, and then both of y'all are trying to figure out who's leading what. I feel like a lot of that, there's going to be a lot of problems with that. And I feel like part of that soft life is you just let go, let that person lead. So I feel like those women that are trying to do that, you're going to have a rough time. I feel like if you're not already kind of like embedded in this soft life, you're going to have a rough time converting over.
To be able to convert into a soft life, you have to have that natural cult like personality. Like a lot of these people who like join cults and stuff like that, they are natural soft life human beings. And too many of us, especially if you can judge them and say, why would they do that? Like why would you purposely allow yourself to be in a cult? Like, be confined to this man or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
then you couldn't be in a soft life. That is the extreme way of living. Like these girls who you see, like, who don't have nothing to their name and their husband be beating the hell out of them, they're living in these soft lives. They can't leave because they have nothing to their name. They have to, like, that is not, like, y'all need, like, until we can get us some therapists that's doing these shows where they're trying to, like, do a live therapy session. You can call in and they'll give you some like 30-minute therapy or a 5-minute therapy session. Then I don't want to hear nobody, no one of these little fake, fall in love shows try to chastise men or women. No, because you're the problem. Your whole show is the problem. They're coming on here because they're finding hope. Until you can cancel your show completely to not give them an opportunity or a space where they can, continue to live in their delusion, then you are the problem.
Okay. All right. Father, would you say you learned anything from this whole soft life thing?
So so it's like the information in itself. There's nothing. I have no issue with the information that's being said that comes with like the whole soft life thing. My only issue is that it's coming in a package. You feeling what I'm saying? It just feels like you were propagandized to go and get those jobs and be a boss ass bitch. So now you're propagandizing yourself right back to relinquishing control and being ultra soft and ultra feminine. It's like you said earlier, it's one extreme to the other. So it comes across very disingenuous, especially when a lot of the shit that y'all are saying people are either doing right now or it's just some regular ass shit. Like sitting on a couch drinking wine it's not like you're packaging it as like soft girl era, but it's just you sitting in a couch drinking wine. You know what I'm saying? Like I could do that. You could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when it comes to this type of like soft life thing, it's really just an aesthetic. It's a marketing ploy. It's something that can be sold on a little t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? And then people make a little subculture out of it. So then that subculture then becomes a market because it's capitalism. And then people start making money off of it. You know what I'm saying? Because they need to get it trending on the internet in order for it to get the gains that it needs to. So you're probably gonna have like a whole bunch of soft life influencers and soft life this and we doing it the soft life way, and them niggas are doing exactly what they said they wasn't gonna do when they was doing all that bullshit. And now they're just doing it wrapped up in a soft life era bowl. It's like what the Democrats used to do to black people all the time. It's just, we're just as racist, but we'll put a mask on it. Like, that's like the type of feeling that I get with this entire thing. But all in all, it's just the whole entire thing is just, nigga, take care of yourself. Like, I know you want to go out there and rah and grind and prove to everybody that I'm the best, but nigga, bro, just take care of yourself. Like, eat, eat well, fucking get your 8 hours of sleep, like, and if you feel like you can't do any of that, then just find some time out of your day to, take care of yourself. Like, making sure your mental is good, make sure you're, just do a self checkup, shit like that. But all in all, that's all I got.
just wise, the wise words. But I get it. Get it. Look, as far as I'm concerned, you don't need a label for it. Just do it. All right. That's if I take anything from this, you don't need a label because you don't need a label for it. Just do it. If you feel like you're stressed, take a mental day off. You don't have to call it yourself that. Just take a mental day off. If you can afford to take a mental day off, go ahead and take one. If if you want to just chill on a regular Saturday morning with a glass of wine and just watch TV, just do it. You don't have to call it soft life. If you just want to, go out and, pamper yourself with something luxurious every once in a while, just go do it. As long as you have the money and as long as, you can afford it. If it makes you happy and it don't hurt nobody, do it. You don't have to call it a soft life. It's just.
But it's not the soft life.
It's regular. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to put a label on it. You don't have to call it soft life, especially if it's just regular shit that you just doing. Just do it.
Yeah, they're pampering themselves. They're taking care of themselves. It's not the soft life. Having a girls, like, how we had girls' days or guys' days or like girls' night out or guys' night out, where
Right.
you just was in a state of being happy. It wasn't called a soft life. It was just you pampering yourself or you finding something that made you happy and you went and did it. But I'm like, y'all creating this label of soft life when it's not that.
It's funny. There was some dude, and I don't want to show the video now because I'm about to end it. But he was also talking about the soft life era, and I kind of looked at him. I looked at him funny. I just looked at him.
So what is the hard life era? Going to prison?
Whatever Jay-Z talked about, or Annie talked about. It's a hard
man.
life.
I was sliding up on my ops. You feel me? That's that hard life.
Is that a hard life? Or is
That's
that a hard life era?
Bro, I show up
being a killer. Hard
nigga,
life era. I'm about to
black
be in my
Air
hard
Forces.
life era.
I've got the black Air Forces on, and I'm blasting King Von because he a savage, just like me, nigga.
So if I start saying a bunch of curse words, I'm in my hard life era.
Yeah,
I'm ignorant. Like that's just
and to a kid looking up to me, life ain't nothing but bitches and money.
I'm about to. So if I go shoot a couple people, I'm in my hard life era. It was just that moment. I'm not gonna do it no more.
I'm in a ghetto. That's what
that foo shit. I ain't with it.
Shit. Yeah. More look. I'm as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. This is probably one of those things where I wouldn't say I have more questions than I have answers, but yeah, you know what? Father them said it right. Yeah.
Like
that's it.
Yeah, it's like Ray. I've been here before. I've rode this roller coaster before. Because y'all did the same shit with the whole fucking boss, like the boss lady shit.
The boss
like,
bitch.
Yeah, but at least with that, it was productive in the sense that like it gave y'all something to do. But then y'all start.
But wouldn't that be considered the independent era?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah, that boss girl era. Miss Independent, all that shit. It's like
now I guess they tired.
Yes.
But
the thing is, you want to know the funny thing about it, Material Life? We was actually fucking with the independent shit for a little bit. You remember Neo made that song Miss Independent? Like, bruh, like we always had like an appreciation for that because now it
Well,
just
y'all
is.
should have never had one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
was
What was
dancing
y'all
to that song.
appreciating?
Was dancing
Y'all
to that.
appreciating these mental health problems that these girls about to gain?
Yeah,
Or these
that's what
girls going back to work? That's what y'all was appreciating?
bruh, let me tell you something. We was fucking with that
Know
shit.
what that means?
We
Yeah,
was
y'all love putting a girl up in the damn trenches, huh? Like
She
what
told
that 50-50 man
baby,
said she was
felt
in the
like onion
trenches with
ring.
me?
money. Go ahead, get your money. Go ahead, get your money.
And
Like,
I judge
What
you.
what did that 50-50 man say? Oh, she in the trenches with me?
yeah, we in the
Child.
trenches, baby. The fuck? It's ride or die. That's right. You belong to me.
Like that, what's that man said? Why she wanna be in the trenches?
Why you want to be in the trenches? And you gotta feed them every night.
I just and the crazy thing is it was social media that made a lot of these girls go to I'm thinking back on it, like I could have been living a good life at home with my mama. All she wanted us to do go to college and get a little education. And then, find us something to do later. But I was like, no, I want to be traveling the world. I want to go be outside. I want to go to work. I want to be making a ton of money. I was like, let me join the military. Boy, to enter into my hard life era.
Mm.
Because I could have literally been operating at home still. But once you get into this hard life era and you start working and having to do your own and having to work and having to pay bills and do all this, it's hard to go back into being a child again.
Which is exactly why I said it's just like trying to kill one addiction with another. It's like,
Mhm.
it's, or for most people, they try to go cold turkey when trying to kill an addiction. It's like,
You don't need to do all that.
you don't need to do all that. It's just
Because tasted the experience of having your own money, having your own place, no one telling you how to do anything, being free to do what the hell you want to do, and then you have to turn around and be caged back up. Hell no, it's like I can't do it.
I know why the cage bird sings.
You can't do it, but then you cry when the bills come. You're like, I can't wait to go back home. But then when you go back home and you realize your parents, it's too much. They don't let you run free. They expecting things of you to pay bills. All right, wait, time out. I wasn't paying bills when I was young. Why I gotta pay bills now?
I miss my 20 acres, barbecue and pecan pie. Oh, wow.
when I
And-
come from you, Texas.
Texas. All I want to do is cry. I want to go,
I want to
go home. Face ass girl.
but the sad part is they'll ask you for rent and stuff, and they'll ask you for this, and they'll ask you to put this down and this down. But then they have curfews on you. You're like, this is not a normal roommate situation.
Mm.
It's given very much I'm paying rent to be in a jail cell. It's not the same.
That's what I'm saying, bro. We all are prisoners.
So then you want to go back into this hard life era, but you're crying every day.
Yeah, this shit hard, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't think I can hold on right now, bro.
And now you saying you want to be in this soft life era, but you ain't willing to be caged up.
But you got to be harder. I still remember that fucking video, bro. That shit pissed me off. But you gotta be harder. And I'm like, that's the worst advice I ever heard, yo. That nigga is over there trying to talk to you like a man. You over there looking at him like he's Jerry the Mouse.
Mm.
You did this.
Lord.
I'm not gonna hold you. He was a little sassy.
I'm telling you, yo, that was my whole problem. Was just like, yo, Why does he have to be so sassy?
Why he had to?
That's for sure, huh? Yeah, that's how you did it. Just run.
And then you called him Kawhi Leonard, and I fucking disintegrated, bro.
Yeah, I was like, man, why Kawhi Leonard doing this to me?
This coming from a rich man.
This coming from a rich man. Oh man, any last words anybody want to say before we go ahead and shut this down?
Nigga, I'm going on my sophomore era, man. I'm inspired. The fuck? I'm about to
Okay, sis. The first time a girl start calling you sis, you're gonna be like, hell no.
Nigga, I am cisgendered. Okay. Yeah, sis.
I'm not about to play with you.
Listen.
We can be on the phone all day cracking up. I swear we can.
No, bro, because it's that soft life shit. You know, I'm in the fucking car with my friends. You know, I'm sipping wine. I got some fucking Janae Aiko playing in the background.
And you know, she is the queen of soft life era.
Oh yeah,
been through it. I know you've been through it. I know the other girls can't do it like I do it. My shit, nigga. Play with me.
Oh my god. Side note, and this has nothing to do with the. I just looked at it. Tekken 8 just has Eddie Gordo as DLC, and they gave that nigga the standard starter nigga locks.
I saw that, and I'm like, no.
You ever played Tekken?
Mm-hmm.
The
game?
Yeah, the game.
nigga with the dance moves.
The nigga that be dancing, the black dude with the dreads.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave him nigga starter locks and some shit like
that.
Hell gave him the Killmonger.
They gave him the Killmonger. And he never did.
I'm about to go look at it.
Nigga, that fucking hairstyle has the gaming community in a chokehold. Every fucking animation is that same motherfucking haircut.
I'm about to be like Joe Button. Why? Why? Oh my god! But I would go ahead and then I would like to thank Father and Material Life for coming on.
This was fun. You know, I always enjoy when Father comes through.
That's right. That's my presence. I'm the Midas touch, nigga.
Mm-hmm. Because what some people might think you might be a little bit negative, a little bit angry.
Yeah,
some people might say you might be a little angry.
I'm an angry African, okay?
It might come off a little jealous, but we don't think that.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. It just niggas
no, because you got to be honest.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Is people are so afraid of honesty, but like Cat Williams said, 2024 about to be the year of honesty. We about to humble these, like you said, we're gonna humble them with honesty.
It's time to bring shit back.
Yeah, all that being afraid to tell somebody you was crazy. Oh, you can't say crazy. No, nigga, you crazy.
I was about to say I be calling niggas crazy all the time.
Yeah, but you know the disabled community. I don't even know what terminology you can call them now. You know, it's offensive to use that word, just like the R word.
Right. Okay. Oh man. On that note, I would like to thank all of y'all for tuning us for another episode of the After Party where we come up with some other topics. Till then, I am your host, Ray, and I'll be seeing y'all. Peace.
Peace.